What's up, y'all? It's me. It's your boy Asmongold. And today, as I said before, we're going to be doing a lot of stuff. I'm excited. I really am. I'm hoping that, honestly, I think that today, I might actually try to hit 50 today. I don't know really how far I'm going to get. I'm going to be completely honest, but I'm going to try and do it. Now, a lot of you guys might notice I am on quite a bit earlier today than I was on yesterday. The big reason for that is simply because I passed out on the floor after I ate Chipotle yesterday, and I woke up at like 2 a.m. I went to bed, I slept for a little bit, I woke back up, and here we are again, streaming, chilling, and doing the usual shit, man. So yeah, we can see the moon spin. Yeah, the moon, there it is. Yeah, it keeps spinning. Like, I can't, like, it's so weird to me that that's like a thing to, like, it's so weird that that can even exist, that you can have something that can spin around like that and everything like that. Yeah, it's just fucking crazy. And yeah, it's the moon. Well, the thing is, the actual moon spins, so it's realistic, right? Well, it would be realistic if the moon was real. So yeah, I mean, that's basically how I see it. And anyway, listen, I got a lot of videos to watch today. Obviously, servers aren't going to be up for another 2 hours or so. So we're just going to fuck around. We're going to have some fun. We're going to look through some videos, and we're going to do all that other stuff. Land Karen, thank you very much for the 50 gifted subs. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. And again, we also are going to have the, there's a new drop today. It's like a little pet thing that you get for watching whenever I move into the Lost Ark category. So we'll get that as well. Good for you in the Cerberus mount. Yeah, I'm gonna look at that. Obviously, a lot of people posted stuff on Reddit. We're gonna look through all of that stuff. We're gonna get through everything, okay, guys? So yeah, don't worry about it. And that's what the plan is. Hopefully they fix the main quest bug in Lost Ark. Yeah, I agree. I think it really sucks, honestly, like, because there's a lot of people, especially, it's just, I don't know. I mean, do I really have to explain why a bug is bad? I mean, bugs fucking suck, right? So yeah, I definitely feel that way. And I've had 0 bugs so far. The truth is, with me, I've had 0 bugs as well. I have had no problems with the game. The truth is, the game is released and it's been really clean. It's been easy to do. It's been easy to play. Everything's been just fucking fine, man. So yeah, beta testers pack. Well, that's the thing, right? I mean, like, anytime you play a game early access for any reason, that's just what's gonna happen. But of course, it's frustrating. I'm still waiting on them to fix mine. Yeah, I just logged in yesterday and I got lucky and it was okay. So I was very glad about that. You see about them on Lost Ark giving away free Founders Pack to those who switch to new servers. No, I didn't see that, but I'm not surprised. I think that, fact is, like, you have so many people that are probably going to, like, this is just kind of like how these games work. This is how MMOs work, is that nobody wants to play on a medium population or a low population server. Everyone wants to play on the big server. Why is that? Because that's where it's easiest to find groups. That's where there's less friction in trading. That's where you have more items available on the marketplace. It's just, in general, the best outcome for the most things. So that's where I think a lot of, yeah, that's the point of an MMO. And also, like, another big factor here is that people, like, might quit the game later on in the future. So, like, for example, how many of you guys were on a New World server that was a low pop server or a medium pop server, and then it became a I'm online and I think I'm the last person on Earth server about like 2 months after release? Well, I think that I had to deal with that. I certainly fucking did. And a lot of other people did too. So it's not really a surprise that people are going to be frustrated and they're going to want to be able to log on and actually have other people to play with. So the thing is, with like mega servers, like WoW has this, and it's actually really good, is that you can play with anybody from any server on your region. So like anybody in NA, or even South America even, I think most of them, you can play with them too. But you can't play with EU players because, I don't know, maybe latency or something, I'm not really sure. But the point is that a lot of people want to play, and be able to, somebody says, hey, remember that time I gave you the Underrock Krog? Sorry, it's caught my attention. The Underrock Krog harness, I'd like that mount back, please. I've been trying to get it for 2 years now. I think I gave up my token for trading it to you, so I'll never get it again. No, you'll get it again, trust me. Like, you'll get it, listen, man, you'll get it on your next run. 100%. It's always going to be your next run, man. Yeah, this guy, I had to read that one. I saw it. I thought it was fucking funny. And, you know, you got to do what you got to do. So that's the first thing I fucking saw. Anyway, so yeah, that's basically what it is. Asking because why don't companies invest in expanding server capacity versus increasing the number of servers available? The reason why it's easier for them to, I think it's because it takes, like, I'm not a network engineer, okay? I have no idea what I'm talking about. So just keep that in mind whenever I'm mentioning any of this. I really don't know anything what I'm talking about here, but I'll just kind of explain what I think. Is I'm assuming that running one server with a lot of people on it takes more resources than running 10 servers with like a tenth of that players on it on each one. That's what I think it is. Because like you just have, yeah, vertical scaling is hard, yeah. So that's basically why. And the reality is that companies don't want to invest a lot of money into a bunch of servers for a release that's only going to last for a week or something if they're planning on the life cycle of the game being 2 years. And obviously it sucks for people that play on release, but financially and in terms of like business sense, yes, obviously the servers being bad at the start is not good, but at the same time, what I think that a lot of these games should do is they should do what actually New World did. New World made a good decision, is that New World planned for failure in a certain way, is that they had, remember like the world clusters in New World, where you'd have like one like kind of block of servers and then another block of servers, and they planned on having all of those servers come together in the future. That's why they had those blocks. And that's also why they had all of the character names region-wide, is because that way there would never be an issue of, oh, 2 players have a character name, who gets to keep the character name? That's never going to be an issue anymore for them, because nobody can have the same character name. And that's the, yeah, they're keeping it 55th Street with them, right? And the thing is, like, New World, they did it right. And the problem is that now they only have 55th players. But the problem, look, all I'm saying is that there are ways to handle this, and it's a good idea. However, many companies don't do it. And I think WoW, like this is the problem with WoW, right? Is that if you're playing on a dead server, your experience as a player is diminished. Like, it's like playing on Alliance right now in retail, for example. Like, you can't fucking do... I remember, so I wanted to do Mythic Castle Nathria. And I make a group, and I'm on my warrior on Alliance. I make a group on my warrior on Alliance, Mythic Castle Nathria. I get 1 person. And they're in full PvP gear. They have no idea what any of the fights do. They have no clue whatsoever. I start getting a little bit of depression. I start thinking, wow, did I fall off? You know, am I a loser now? Do I suck? Well, I went over to Horde. I made this same group. Boop, 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 boop. It's a fucking, like, you know, 250 Shaman Healer, 256 Arms Warrior, 252 fucking Hunter, you know, 249 Mage with, like, Best in Slot Legendary. Like, everybody, like, I immediately got a group within, like, I don't even know, 3 minutes for Mythic Castle Nathria. Who the fuck would want to do that? Well, over on Horde, there's still 20 idiots that still want to. On Alliance, there's only 1 guy. It's sad, man. It really is. So that's kind of what happened. And I feel like this is an issue with a lot of games, is that the game, what it does is whenever you're playing on a server like that, so messed up the moment. Exactly, man. And so, like, the problem is that if you're playing on Alliance, or if you're playing and, you know, doing this stuff on another server, you're just not going to have a good time. You're not going to enjoy yourself. You're going to be frustrated. You're going to be angry. You're going to be disappointed. You're not going to be able to have the experience that the game is able to provide. And really, like, what is this fundamentally? This is like a developer, like, it's like them letting you buy a game, but you can't play a third of the game for, like, whatever reason. And it's just RNG. Like, do you guys remember, like, ever buying, like, a floppy disk or, like, one of the very early CDs of, like, Duke Nukem or, like, Commander Keen or something like that back in the 90s? And, like, there would be 10 games on the disc and 3 of them just wouldn't work. Like every single time that you would fucking click, like, you know, run program, there would be a boot error and it would just not work and your computer would turn off. Like, yes, yeah, it was horrible. Like, you guys see, like, everybody nowadays, oh man, gaming's so bad now. Let me tell you something. Back in the day, you bought a game and you had the game and you owned the game and it worked. That's not true. That's not true. That's true from like 1998 to like 2010. That's it. That's literally the only time. If you bought a game in 1994, if you bought a game in 1996, that game, you know what you were doing? Flipping a fucking coin. You're flipping a little fucking coin. Does it work? Oh, tails. Critical error. Computer goes offline. Yeah, 96 doesn't count. Yeah, it fucking sucked, man. The 12 golden years, exactly. Expectations were much lower in the 2000s. Yeah, I mean, I think that there is a certain survivorship bias of games, right? Because you forget all of the games from, like, the early 2000s that were just... They were so bad that nobody even knows what they are anymore. Like, nobody has any idea. Like, it's just like it's almost like, you know, people that have like a memory and then nobody else remembers it, but they're just like so certain that it's real. It's like somebody has to remember that fighting game where like rabbits and dogs fought against each other and then you could like throw chairs at them. Like, God, dude, like nobody remembers this game except me. And it's like you're so certain about this. Bloody Roar? Yeah, actually, okay, yeah, that was... Okay. Alright, that's good, yeah. Man, yeah, that was the game. You actually got it exactly right. But the thing is, the game was fucking terrible though. Like if you played that game, you'd know it's literal fucking garbage. It was a terrible fucking game. And there's a bunch of other ones that were just so absolutely fucking bad. Bloody Roar was great? Well, yeah, it was great. So it wasn't as good as Smash. It wasn't as good as Soul Calibur. It wasn't as good as Tekken. And of course it wasn't as good as Street Fighter. But, you know, it was there. It wasn't as good as the Godzilla game either. Like, it was basically the worst fighting game. Like, think about it. Like, yeah, every other game was fucking better than that. So, what I'm really trying to say here is that a lot of the things that people remember were not necessarily true entirely. And, like, even with, like, Burning Crusade, Wrath of the Lich King launch, how many of you guys played WoW during Burning Crusade launch? How many of you guys had the experience that I had with Burning Crusade launch? The absolute cock in the ass. The absolute disaster of Hellfire Peninsula. It was amazing. There were servers that were able to... there were people that were able to play on the server, but there were a lot of people who were not. Like, I couldn't log on for like 2 or 3 hours. Wrath of the Lich King was even worse for me. And I think that, like, Blizzard... In my opinion, I said this before, everybody always likes to hate on Blizzard, and, you know, for the most part, I think they deserve it. But the fact is that whenever you look at expansion launches, I think that Blizzard has been fucking on top of it. Like, the Legion launch was flawless, man. The BFA launch was really, really good. The Shadowlands launch was really, really good too. It was, I'm not kidding. Like, I actually think that it was good. Classic WoW launch was bad because people didn't want a bunch of layering. Blizzard gave the players what they wanted, and then the players got pissed off about it. And also, like, again, what I'm saying about, like, the Classic launch is that it's the same thing. It's that the reason why the Classic launch was not successful is because everybody wanted to play on the same server. So I'll bring this back to Lost Ark, is that everybody wants to play on Avena. Everybody wants to play on, was it Unad or some other fucking name? Everybody wants to play on Regulus. So there's a lot of people, a lot of idiots want to play on Galatar. And those are the main big servers, Xena, yeah. So, like, these are the big servers. And if you are a serious player, you want to play on one of those big servers because that's where everybody's at. That's where things are popping off. That's where you're going to be able to find groups. That's where you're going to have more people that could invite you to their static or their raid team or something. That's what the goal is. So that's how I see it. They just let us create characters before on a few servers. Well, I think that's what it is. More concurrent players today than an early release. Well, let's actually talk about that. I'll go ahead and pull this up real quick, and we'll see what this has to offer. Give me just 1 second, and I'll do this. And where are we at here? There we go. All right. And they should have strongest servers in the highest population realm. Well, they always say that, but that's not really what happens. And that's just the case. Just in case Asmon reads this, I'm going to stop spurging in chat, yo. Yeah, good idea. Thank you. I appreciate that. I love the classic launch. It was amazing to see 200 people in the starting zones. Yeah, it was amazing to see it. It just wasn't amazing to play it. That's the problem. And I think that, again, like, you have the spectacle of having a lot of people in starting zones is, in my opinion, worth the slight inconvenience. I think that it's just, it makes people feel like we really out here, boys. You know, like, we are here at the moment in history. Like, I am here. It's like you go to like a big parade, or you go to like, you know, one of these like massive protests or something like that, and it's like I was here, Pog. And it feels good, absolutely, but like, it feels good, and then you get your quest. It's like you have to kill 8 wolves and get their molars, and guess what happens in Classic WoW? The molars are an 8% drop chance. So you have 10 people around one wolf spawn, and they're just sitting there. And you're there for 3 hours, and you only get 6, and then you have to go to bed. So it's like, yeah, obviously this kind of stuff is a problem, but at the same time, it's, you know, it's not the end of the world. I like that kind of stuff at the beginning, but it can get tedious. It gets tedious so fast. Have you seen the first images of the Lord of the Rings TV show? No, I have not. I saw a little bit about it. People were like arguing about it or something. Here's what I've said before about the Lord of the Rings TV show. Is that, oh no, I think the show looks good. Oh shit, look at it. I hope it's good. All right, we'll look at it. Type in Lord of the Rings Vanity Fair. I actually looked at my Reddit on my phone today, this morning, and I actually saw that it was linked on my article on here, so I'll look at it myself, okay? It will be awful. It's good, chat, what the fuck? The thing is, like, a lot of people are upset. This is just like a general perception that people have. Guild MM, thanks for the 10 gifted subs. I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot. And I think that the general perception that people have is that they don't want to have their media be co-opted by people that want to use the media as a vehicle to drive a message. And why is that? It's not even because most people disagree with the message. The reason why, I'll pull up the article. Let me see if I can find it here. Where I'm just scrolling down. I'm just seeing if I can find it. Where the hell is it? Let me try to bring back unbans. I will soon, okay? Don't worry about it. Okay. New trail. Oh, that's the only one. Damn, man. I need to find this. Okay, I guess I can just use it. I can just look it up on the Google, right? Okay, yeah, we'll activate the Google, and this should be good. Holy shit, this is so bright. So, just like in general, this one's on us? Great, then get the fuck out of here. Alright, so let's look at this here. Ring of Power is less financial risk, reputational one. Amazon needs to definitively make the case it can produce giant prestige shows. Even with this series, it's creating additional danger of amending and elaborating on the canon of a beloved storyteller. Yeah, I think that that's definitely true. I'm not going to read the whole article, right? I mean, that's not going to happen. I'm just going to scroll down. Okay, so these are just like the general different people in the Lord of the Rings. I guess that is too. Okay. Who the fuck is that? Half-elf Elrond is a politically ambitious leader. Brawen with a forbidden love, Arandir, in the village of Tri-Harad? Okay. So yeah, I mean, that's just really what I'm seeing, right? I don't know what that says. It does sound like try hard, though. It does. I know. Anyway, so we'll talk a little bit about the Lord of the Rings stuff, and we'll just kind of go through that real quick, all right? So this will be the first topic. We'll get through this right now. The fact is that there's a lot of people that are, like, I think that there are a lot of people like me. Like, this is my main concern, is that the races of the characters don't really matter that much to me, but if they're willing to change one thing, what else are they willing to change? And what my main concern is that if they want to take artistic liberties with some things, does this mean, because this is what my concern is, like I've said this before with Lord of the Rings, and this is what I think, is that I'm mainly concerned that they're going to try to turn Lord of the Rings into Game of Thrones light. They're trying to add in unnecessary, like this one right here. This is with her forbidden love between like two things. Like this is, I don't even know if this is part. I don't remember seeing either of these characters' names in the Tolkien universe at all. This kind of stuff, and they're adding this kind of stuff into the story in order to appeal to a wide audience. And I don't think that's what the essence of Lord of the Rings really is. The essence of Lord of the Rings is not morally gray. It is a clear distinction of good and evil and the battle of overcoming evil. That is what the fundamental of the books is. It's what the fundamental of what everything about it is. So whenever you take something and you turn it into, again, Game of Thrones light, and this is not anything against Game of Thrones. I think Game of Thrones is fucking great. But that doesn't mean that I want Lord of the Rings to be Game of Thrones. Sometimes you like steak, sometimes you like ice cream. But whenever Jack in the Box made a milkshake that had bacon bits in it, I thought they lost their fucking mind. So it's not that these two things are one's better than the other. It's that when you put them together, you've made a mistake. And that's basically what my concern is. Now, I can speak for a lot of people, is that what I think a lot of people don't like is that they don't like whenever there is a story that exists and there's already a, what's really the word for this? There's already a precedent of kind of like the characters in the story, and then a new person or a new group of people come in and they make the story again, and they change genders, they change different stuff like that, like races of the characters. And the reason why I think people don't like that is not because of the actual change itself, it's what the change indicates. It's the change that indicates that it removes a certain element of escapism of this person, because whenever they see that change, it makes them think of the fact that this story exists in the context of a certain type of political point of view or a certain type of social point of view. And I think that's basically what it is. Does that make sense? Changed Nerd of the Rings video about this. It's very good. I haven't seen that before. I have no idea. Yeah. Let me see here. I've heard of Earthsea fantasy lore all about different human races, whereas Lord of the Rings is supposed to be European. Yeah, I don't know if it's... I mean, I think that, like, there's a lot of stories like Lord of the Rings that, like, it's not explicitly European, but it's like, I mean, Tolkien grew up in Europe. It's basically European, right? It's a European in all but name. I think that's what it is. Having black actors not changing anything, what the fuck? Well, but that's what people are saying, though. Like, as I said, I don't really care about that. What I really care about is the fact that I think that they're just going to change the story. They're going to make it like The Hobbit, with unnecessary sex interest, with unnecessary bullshit, probably with nudity, with like gray characters, like, oh, there are some orcs in Mordor that are actually like good orcs, and, you know, like these different, it's just going to be weird. And I don't think that a lot of people who are fans of Lord of the Rings want to see that. Now, are average viewers, like just everyday viewers, are they going to be wanting to watch this? Yeah, sure. Like, I think a lot of people are probably going to watch it. But I think that in terms of something, is this going to be true to form, and will this be fulfilling for somebody who is an avid fan of Lord of the Rings, or, you know, the books, Silmarillion, the movies, whatever? Is it going to be, you know, is it going to be fulfilling for a Tolkien fan? Probably not. Yeah, it's probably not going to. Creators say they're trying to keep it family friendly. It's in the article. I don't really believe that. Yeah, I don't believe that at all. Racist going mask off today? Well, the thing is, like, I don't really... And this is the problem, is that a lot of people have had this concern, especially with, like, changing... Like, they changed, like, Thor's... like gender, and like they say, like, oh, well, it's not really Thor, it's like another person, and Thor is a title. People have an idea of what Thor is, and whenever you change the gender, it's different, right? And you have these different, like, little tricks that these people try to pull on people, and people are just not buying it. Like, nobody wants to be patronized like that. People just want to consume content and not have the content used as a vehicle to promote some sort of point of view, some sort of, like, social perspective. I think that's really what it comes down to most of the time. And I think that's also, like, why the success of games like... I'm going to take this back to Lost Ark, right? I think that's a big reason why you see the success of games like Lost Ark. It's because you have that game, and that game's not trying to patronize to you. It's not trying to talk down to you. It's not trying to push a overt opinion. It's just trying to put a story out there, and you feel like the story is being told with absolute artistic integrity. And I think that's really what's what it's coming from, right? Is that people want to see the artistic integrity of a story preserved. And that's what it really is. You're assuming a lot in the moment. Why not just wait for it to come out? I've never seen art without a point of view. Well, no, I think it's like, to say that every point of view is the same thing is, like, kind of weird. Like, there's a lot of art that does not have an overt political point of view, and that is not being used, and it's not a direct reflection of, like, current political climates. Like, to say that all art is political as if this does not exist on a spectrum is just a way that people who want to put politics into other people's art use in order to rationalize doing it, to make it seem like, oh, well, it's all like this, so it's okay whenever I do it. I think everybody can fucking see that, right? Lost Ark was heavily censored for the West, though. As far as I know, it really wasn't. Like, and this is what I said before. They put a few black people in Lost Ark. I don't have a problem with that because of what I said before. I want to play a character that looks like me. I want to play a big, meaty, brawny, big dude, right? I want to play a guy that looks like I do. And so I think there's plenty of black dudes that want to play a dude that looks like they do. So if they make other options like that and other characters in the game that look like them, I think that's fucking fine. Yeah, true. Well, it's not the way that you look, but it's like your idealized version of how you look. Does that make sense? So it's like, this is like, if I could look a certain way, this is how I would look. And that's the way a lot of people see it. So I don't have a problem with that. It's the same reason I don't think Lost Ark really got censored. They changed, like, 2 starter outfits. Who gives a fuck? And even with Lost Ark, there were a lot of people on Twitter. Same thing. And this is what I think is very funny about this, is that there are a lot of people on Twitter complaining about Lost Ark and the sexualization of Lost Ark. Have you guys seen this at all? Yeah, but you can't look like that? Let's hit the gym, boy. Yo, chill, bro. Yo, chill, bro. No, I seen a handful of them, right? And every single one complaining about it is just it's a Western game developer, right? These are, and this is the thing, right? Is it's an ideology that's being promoted and pushed by people who are not the actual audience. It's not something that an average person cares about or wants to see. The average person does not worry about this. They don't think about, oh my God, this character is wearing high heels. This is not an issue. This is not a concern for an average video game player. And I think to the extent that people make it a concern, an average video game player is frustrated about it. So you see this happening over and over and over, and I think that it's a big reason why you see manga becoming much more popular. It's a big reason why you see games like Final Fantasy becoming a lot more popular, games like Lost Ark becoming a lot more popular. It's because those games don't have these overt, like, social things in the game that are like just one-dimensional caricatures of different political positions that the developers disagree with. Does that make sense? It's not patronizing. Like, nobody wants to be talked down to. Nobody wants to be, they don't want to have people like some weird developer. It's the same thing like whenever I've done this a lot, and I've tried to kind of cut down on it, where I will say obvious things in a way that I think a lot of people are like, they get annoyed by or they don't want to see. Representation is important in media. A lot of people care about it. I think a lot of people do care about it, absolutely. But whenever I see people posting about it, it's almost always the people that are pushing it and not the people that are just like an average audience person. I think average audiences just want to see a movie, and it's like that's not something that is on the spectrum of being a good movie or a bad movie. Like, there can be a great movie with a lot of representation, and it can be a bad movie with no representation, and vice versa. This is not something that exists on the spectrum of people really developing an opinion about a movie. Does that make sense? Yeah, it's a very small amount of people, I would say. And representation is also not preaching or using the game to be a vehicle to present some point of view. I personally love sexualized character. It's a fantasy game where elf and human tits are bigger than your torso. Yeah, I think that's great too. I really do. I think it's one of the best things about the game. So that's the way it looks at it. And and the thing is that whenever you have games that provide that, like Lost Ark or like Final Fantasy or like a lot of these other booba games that people are playing now and are becoming more popular, like Genshin Impact is another one, people can just say, no, I'm not going to play these games where you're trying to repress sexuality and, change these things and, be weird about stuff. And then simultaneously people at your company are getting, fired for sexual harassment. Like, I don't want to deal with this. Like, it's weird because an average person just wants to have a form of escapism and they don't want to be patronized by a developer in California. It's just not, or an actor that lives in Hollywood. It's just not the case. And for that matter, not a streamer who lives at their mom's house. They don't want to be patronized. And that's why I don't do that as much anymore, is because I know that is I know that is something that's a turnoff to people, and I try not to do that as much anymore. Absolutely. Guess what? It's a fantasy game. Yeah, exactly. Most people that complain about those games don't even play them. Yeah, exactly, man. Is the game broken or something? Yeah, it is offline for now. Bad fucking take? Well, it's obviously not, because if it was, you present a counter argument. Yeah, you'd present a counter argument. Yeah, the fact is that most of the people that are saying this and are like mad at me for saying this, there's no actual argument against it, because I'm not even arguing. I don't really give a shit, to be honest with you. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. Like, I'll just play a game. Like, this is the best example I can use, okay? If this is my perspective on this, and I'll show you how it doesn't matter. Apex Legends released with all minority or POC characters except for one white male, and his name and his ability was being toxic. And you know what? I fucking loved it. It was an amazing game. It was the best fucking game. It was so good. And the fact is that you guys probably did. Yeah, caustic. Exactly. It doesn't matter to me. I don't give a fuck. I just want to play a good game. That's the only thing that matters to me. Can I ask Rabbit Hole Asmon? Next topic. Why am I not supposed to talk about this? I think there's a lot of people who want to hear what I'm saying. Yeah, it's weird that people don't want me to talk about this, and and everything like that. I'll make sure that one thing is clear. If I want to talk about something, then we're talking about it. That's all there is to it. So yeah. Anyway, the point that I'm making here is that I feel like a lot of this stuff, it is alienating for more and more people, and that's why people are moving over to these other games. I think this will continue happening, and it will become ever more the case. That's really what I'm trying to say. Are we talking about this? Most people would shy away? Yeah, because most people are afraid. The thing is that a lot of people, here's just the truth, is that I talk about issues like this a lot, and because I talk about issues like this a lot, I am used to doing it, and I know what to say. So I'm not afraid to really, I'm not supposed to talk about this or whatever, because I know what I'm doing. Yeah, I know what to say, I know what I'm talking about, and that it's not a big deal. Like, there are some people that communicate badly, and it's harder for them to articulate the way that they feel about stuff, and I think that's the case, yeah, definitely. But that's why they probably don't talk about it. I mean, I think that, the best example recently was Quinn, right? Quinn, made some comment about, like, just like something about women, I don't remember what it was, and, like, people went apeshit about it, and it's like, the main thing that a lot of people like that are bad at is communicating. It's that you are not able to communicate your point of view in a way that's understandable and harder to be taken out of context. Does that make sense? Yeah. People tell you shut up, it's because you're making sense, unless you're Quinn. Well, I think that most of the times people tell me not to talk about something because they either think it's going to get me in trouble, or they disagree with what I'm saying, and they're sick of hearing something that they disagree with. That's what I generally expect. And there's also some people who just don't care about it. I mean, of course that's the case too. I'm not saying that's all it is to it. Okay, let me look over here. Just pick that games sexualize only women. This is bad, and you can't argue with that. Well, the fact is that the reason why a lot of the games only sexualize women is that they're played primarily by men. It's literally that simple. They're played primarily by men, and then obviously, what are they making? Well, they're making hot women because guys play the game. That's it. It's tailored towards an audience, and that's the audience. In my opinion, I agree. You want to know what, like, this is, in my opinion, I want to have a character that looks like Conan the Barbarian, wearing a loincloth and maybe like a strap across his chest. He's got a big hairy fucking chest. He looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's got a gigantic fucking greatsword. Okay, so I'm totally fucking on board with that, and that is the peak Asmongold fantasy. However, there's a lot of guys that probably just want to see hot girls with big ass titties, and that's why you have a lot of games with hot girls with big ass titties. And also, like, I mean, with Lost Ark, there's a lot of sexualized guys. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, my guy is a Giga Chad. Shut the fuck up. Like, what do you mean? Yeah, my guy is such a fucking Giga Chad. Absolutely. And I don't see video games making neckbeard characters. They also sexualize men too. Yeah, nobody wants it. Like, yeah, who the fuck is gonna go around and, oh yeah, this is my character. He's a 35-year-old man who wears a fedora. He's got a neckbeard. He's wearing cargo pants and flip-flops. Man. No. Like, yeah, you're playing like this gigantic fucking, Mr. Olympia bodybuilder with like a giant sword and shield that you couldn't even pick up in real life. Yeah, that's what it really is. I would say so. Do it exist? It's sexual? Yeah, I think that, like, absolutely, guys like hot girls as well? Yeah, of course. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. So let's go back over. We're going to look at the other stuff. I know this is kind of like a hot topic, and people get, like, mad about this kind of stuff. There's no reason to get mad. It doesn't matter. Just keep that in mind. It doesn't matter. And no matter what you say or do or talk about or anything like that, it won't really affect you, or it won't affect anything else, and it won't make a difference. So I just wanted to make sure that at Lost Ark Down, yeah, I'll get in a section, and that way people can start getting the drops. There are going to be new drops today as well, and we'll get ready for the servers to come up too. But we'll go ahead and watch some videos real quick, and watch this clip. Isn't female audience for Lost Ark Final Fantasy 14 huge compared to other games with highly sexualized female characters? Yeah, because actually, contrary to what some people believe, or have you believe, that actually women like to look hot too. Imagine that. So let's look over here. What's this? I hope Zach realizes who that second Endwalker Media Tour package was for. Thanks, Truth Seeker, for pointing it out. What's this? The moment you realize the interview he had with the OCP, you realize the second box was more than likely meant for his mom? Oh, I don't know about that, dude. I mean, I'll tell you one thing. Like, if I had given her this thing right here, or you guys, I guess, can't see it in the frame right now. Let me see if I can move it over and y'all be able to see it. Yeah, there it is. It's that one right there. The moon. I'm gonna be totally honest. Like, she would have thought that shit was like fucking magic, and she probably would have wanted me to turn it off. Because she's like, okay, there's no way that there's not something in that makes it like, there's not some kind of like weird, like fucking bullshit in there. It's like 5G, maybe 6G is in there. Yeah, I have no fucking idea. So I don't know if this was meant for her or not. I mean, to be fair, I mean, the hoodie and everything like that, neither of them, I mean, they would not have fit her, to be honest. So, and they didn't ask for her shirt size or her hoodie size. So I don't necessarily think that's the case, but I mean, like, maybe. It definitely does kind of feel bad to think about that, though, for sure. And I think if that's the case, I'll probably just end up giving it to Cody, right? I mean, because Cody was, you know, she'd always ask me, how are my other sons? And she'd be talking about Cody and Jeff, of course. So yeah, that's about it. Whenever servers are down, you can watch the Mad Season video. Well, I'm not going to do that quite yet. And the reason why I'm not going to do that quite yet is because I'm going to be doing, what do you call it? That's going to be like a whole day. That's basically what I'm saying. Yeah, it's going to be like a whole day worth of content. What a great woman. Yeah, I mean, she was really nice, and I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, it sucks, but like I've been frustrated about it. I think about it a lot. I mean, of course I do, right? How could I not? And it's just very frustrating to me that like I would always want her to do things to like improve her health, and she would just never do them, and it was so frustrating because like it's like even things that took the smallest amount of effort would just never happen. Like, she just would not do them, and it's like there's a certain amount of like frustrating powerlessness that gives you, and it makes you feel, and I really just can't express enough how unpleasant that was, and just how demoralizing and just soul crushing that was to just watch it happen over the last 10 years. It was awful, man. It really was. I don't know why. I don't get it at all. Yeah. So it sucks. I mean, the thing is, like, you can never control, like, you can never control another person. It's like if I had tried to take away her cigarettes and like not buy her cigarettes, she could order them online, get somebody else to buy them. There'd always be a way that you can get around it. And I didn't want to have like that level of friction and frustration in my life. And I'll go back and I'll look at pictures, and I just like saw like all the weight that she had gained whenever she got older and before she passed and all. And it's so frustrating to see that. And it sounds bad, but it just makes me mad at her because, like, why did you do this? It's like it did not have to happen. This did not have to happen. Like, why would you do this to yourself? Like, you just did this, and it like affected me, and it just sucks. But I mean, it was a huge burden, and as I said, I'll give anything to give it back. But I don't know. I could talk about it all day, and it is what it is. Yeah, you can't save someone from themselves, as hard as you try. Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's weird, as I said before. It really is. It's weird. I'll talk about this real quick. That, you know, I spent so much of my life in like constant anxious fear that something would happen to her, and that I had to be like ready and able to have that happen. Because, like, for example, like one time, like I awoke and she was like screaming my name because she was having, like, they did not say it was a heart attack, it was a heart event, and she was screaming my name, and this is whenever we were really, really poor, and she would tell me, and she was like saying, please don't call the ambulance, please don't call the ambulance, they're gonna take the house, you know, because it's gonna cost so much money. And it's like, that wouldn't have happened, but like, you know, she just would never understand it. And anyway, so I had to deal with that, and then I basically like dropped out of, like, I think I was like going to school at the time. I dropped out of school, I stopped looking for a job, and everything like that. And like after that, I would wake up, I could only sleep for like 2 hours a night, because I would have like, I would wake up and I would hear her screaming my name, and I'd have to go out and check on her to make sure she was still alive. And I did this for probably like 6 months or so, maybe a year, until it finally went away. It was really, really fucking bad. And I just, it really, really, really sucked. It's stressful. Yeah, I mean, my dad helped, you know, however he could. My dad did his best. But, I mean, again, you can't save somebody from themselves. That's rough. Yeah, it just sucks, man. And that's really all there is to it. How are you not fucking pissed? Well, I mean, what can I say? What can I do? The thing is, like, there's nothing that you can do. There's nothing that you can say. There's no way that you can stop it. And so, like, now it's really weird. It's called PTSD, my man. You probably need a therapist. Well, it's not happening anymore. I don't have it happen anymore. And, like, it's weird now that, like, now that she's gone, because it's, like, really the first time in my adult life ever that I didn't have, like, the constant, anxious, ominous pressure and dread of knowing it's not if, but it's when. And it could be today. And it's so weird because, like, that pressure just absolutely fucking killed me, and I didn't even realize it until, like, after she was gone. And, like, I can wake up now and I don't have chest pain, right? I don't have to take muscle relaxers every single night because I'm not stressed out. I'm okay. And I feel a lot better. I do, and I wish I didn't. I really wish I didn't. I wish I could go back to how it was. It would be so, I would do it so fast. But you can't. And you can only move forward. And that's the only thing that you can do, man. And it's just so shitty. It sucks so much fucking dick, man. Accept it and move on. I don't think that I will ever really accept it. I don't. I really don't. I don't think I will ever really accept it. And it will piss me off for the rest of my life. And it's like I'll still... I still water all of her plants and, you know, all that stuff. And I don't know what to say. It just sucks, man. It just fucking sucks. That's life in a nutshell. Yeah. But I do feel... I feel a lot more free, but I also feel a lot more alone. And it's a weird feeling. Yeah, it's just a really weird feeling. And it's like I can, you know, do what I want, but it's just breaking my heart. There's no reason. The thing is, to me, is like I get sad about it sometimes, and I'll think about it, and I'll cry, but it's not very often. The truth is that there only is and what isn't. That's all there is. There is what is, and there is what is not. And this is. And you can run it, hide from it, dread it. Destiny arrives all the same. And that's the only thing that I can really worry about. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't fight it off. You can't do anything. So, yeah, I mean, this was my mom is almost identical. What's this? To my dad and me. He's alive, but 100% like your mom was. Every day I wonder if today's the day. Yeah, and like, to be honest with you, I have no advice for you. I genuinely have no fucking advice. There's nothing I can say, and you know this, right? Like, there's nothing I can say to make it easier. There's nothing I can say to make it better. I can't say, oh, it'll be better whenever it's over, because it probably might not be, right? For me, it is and it's not. There's nothing I can say, nothing I can do all I can say is sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. It fucking sucks. I've always been, it's weird because, like, there's so many things that I used to be, like, really, really afraid of, and, like, now I don't really worry about them as much anymore. Like, I don't really worry about, I don't know, I don't worry about dying anymore, right? Like I did with her. I think it was because I felt like I had to take care of her. But, like, I don't really, I'm not, like, afraid. I don't lay in bed and think about it, and I'm not scared of it anymore. Yeah, and so it did change me a lot. And I'm not even really sure in all the ways. Yeah, it's weird. It is. Did it help you to vent on stream? I don't know if it necessarily helps me, but I know it probably helps some people in chat. So, you know, I try to talk about it and be honest with you guys because I know there are a lot of y'all that's going through this same fucking bullshit that I've been going through. And, I talk about it because of that. Yeah, there's a lot of you guys in the same fucking situation. And that's my best advice. What are you afraid of these days? Wasps. I am afraid of wasps. That's it. That's the only thing. Like, I am afraid of wasps. I really, really, really don't like wasps. And that's probably the main thing. Yeah. The animal or the people? Definitely the animal. But if they're, you know, if they're forceful enough, the people too. But it depends. What about brown recluses? No, because I know how a spider can move. I don't know how a wasp can move. It's like a weird thing that, like, it's the same with a snake. I don't really know how snakes move. But, like, the thing is, I used to be, as I said, I used to be a lot more, like, kind of mentally strong. Like, I used to be able to, like, for example, like, there's one time I took, like, a hydrocodone, and I literally had an overdose of hydrocodone where, like, my, like, I was losing my vision, and, like, my fingers and my toes were, like, going numb, and my arms were going numb. And I was going into shock, basically, and I was, like, moving my hands and feet, like, to make sure I didn't go into shock. And it's like, I finished that, and I sat down, and I recovered from it. I just went right back to what I was doing. I didn't even give a fuck, right? And, like, for a long time, it's like, if I had a headache, I would worry, oh my god, that's a brain tumor. If I had, you know, anything, I would worry that it's something really bad. I don't do that anymore. I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, I feel good. I finally fucking feel good. In a lot of ways. Yeah, I feel fucking good, and I'm, yeah, that's it, and it feels good to feel good. A lot of stuff is mental, yeah. So, I don't know how long it'll last, but as I said, man, I used to be a warrior and I turned into a bitch. I really meant that, because you really would, this is the last thing I want to say. I've just been talking about this too much. The last thing I want to say is, like I would, like, there was, like, so much emotional drain and emotional pressure on me whenever you know, she was here and she was not doing well, and, you know, in the past, like, years leading up to it. Like, that's why, one of the big reasons why I would take breaks from stream, like, is a big reason, is, like, it would just stress me out so much, and it would just upset me so much that it was just an overload. And I'm not really an emotional person, so if something could put me in an emotional state, it really disables me, because I'm not like that. That's not normal for me. So yeah. Are you at 100% now? No, I'm at like 70. But that's pretty good. I used to be at 40, 30. 70 is pretty fucking good. Anyway, let's look over here. I'll read the rest of these, and then I want to watch a video. I know Bellier came out with a video recently about Lost Ark. I wanted to watch his video about the game, and also we have, in a little bit over an hour, we have the actual game releasing. Imagine that. So yeah, we're gonna be able to play the game and do the release and everything in just about an hour. And guys, I do think that, and this is, by the way, every single person right now, if you want to play Lost Ark, make sure to download it now. because you can pre-download the game and it makes it easier for you to log on, and you can maybe avoid those like first, hour queues or first like, a few hours queues. Yeah, download that shit right now. And you guys, we have drops enabled on the stream. Whenever the game goes live, we have new drops too. And that's basically what it is. I have the game up. Don't tell them that. Well, I don't know about that. Well, yeah, I want you guys to be able to play the game. I've really had fun playing the game. Like, I went yesterday, and I was finding some of the Moko seeds on the different areas in the game. So I've been having fun. It's been great, man. It has. There's a new Twitch extension, Lost Ark. Can see your stats. Will you install it? Yeah, tonight I will. I don't want to do it during the stream, though. Excuse me. You redeem the Founders Pack? I'll look into that in a minute. Let me go ahead, read the rest of these. Upvote to scare Asmon. Salad, Red Cerberus, Gmod, Solass, Water, Fuck, Oh my God, Shower, Schedule, and this situation here. Listen, guys, I feel like this one was probably photoshopped. Like, there's no way it's really that bad. Now, I don't want to show you guys my hairline. No, I'm just talking, out loud. I'm just thinking out loud. That, I mean, like, guys, let's be honest. That is really bad. And, like, it's me, right? Like, this is, like, I have a Nintendo 64 hairline. That's what it is. Remember that? Where's the fucking, Asmongold Nintendo 64? Yeah. So, that's what the problem is right there. That is right there, exactly 100%. That's what the problem is, and I don't know what to do about it. Yeah, fuck. It sucks, man. I'm actually going to, I might get a hair transplant or something like that, because the thing is, like, I have so much hair on the side of my head, and it would be great if I could have it in the front instead, because I like having long hair, but long hair whenever you're balding, you look like, you look like a ghoul. Yes, you look like a ghoul. Let's be honest, a crypt keeper. Yes, exactly. Let me look at the rest of these. How to get Asmon to read your message. Make a donation, hope for him to read the message. Make a donation during TTS stream. Learn and study Asmongold's talk pattern, so you know when he stops talking and looks at chat. Also taking stream delay into account to increase chances of him reading the message. 1. Type all the messages you want him to read. Get yourself... Get yourself banned on purpose by saying some other dumb shit. Profit. He will now personally read your entire chat history out loud. Guys, listen, we're gonna do ban appeals pretty soon, okay? Yeah, we're gonna do ban appeals really soon. He's not wrong. No, he's not. You're right about that. He is not wrong. And yeah, that's the situation that we're in, I guess. I don't know even what the fuck to say. The third eye? Yeah, it was a good idea. Write a paragraph that gets bumped like this. That's... I saw so many of these. So, this was during the Lord of the Rings thing. I was talking about, black people in Lord of the Rings, the sex stuff, everything like that, right? And I was having a conversation about it. And I saw people... Well, from my opinion... what I've seen is... It's like, imagine how long he thought about that. It's just... Literally, nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares. It doesn't matter. It's just gone instantly. And I know what this is, right? It's It's people from YouTube, because like I have a lot of I have an older audience, definitely. I have an older audience, and because of that, I've got some guys in there. They don't understand this cool new Twitch lingo bullshit, right? Like, back in their day, they used to use AIM, AOL Instant Messenger. Remember that? Yeah, it was a long fucking time. So, like, anyway, yeah, you got YouTube boomers, everybody coming into the stream, seeing what the fuck is up, and that's what ends up happening. So, yeah, I think it's fucking funny. The fifth one turned a message into a meme on Reddit and gave him to read it on Reddit recap. I'm on the third stage. I can't wait to get banned. Yeah, I can't wait to get banned, I bet. Dark Souls 3 versus Elden Ring character models. Okay, let's see here. Holy shit! Bro, that almost looks like a Giga Chad Tobey Maguire. Am I right about that? Like Giga Chad Tobey Maguire. That's the first fucking thing I think of whenever I see that. Yeah, this is way better. Like, wow. Character customization matters a lot for a lot of people. And, Jesus. Wow. Yeah, that's really... Okay. Alright. So, at least the other ones are semi-legit. I think this is a really good example. Like the lighting, it's 1,000 times better. That's all it comes down to. Does it translate good into the end game? Dark Souls 3, your character's character creation and end game completely different. Check other images. Yeah, there you go. Pretty sure bottom right is Nathan Drake. Giga Chad. Yeah, there you fucking go, man. Current MMO market in a nutshell. Jaded MMO players. Anime titties. East Asian developers. Hey, I mean, it's good. Like, what's wrong with that? Yeah, it's a good thing. Asmongold pondering the orb. Okay, yeah, very fucking funny. Yeah, it's still spinning. It's been spinning ever since yesterday, which is kind of crazy to think. This is brilliant. I like this. Paladin does a lot of damage. Asmongold, I'll ignore that. Yeah, exactly. Fuck it. Paladins suck. So glad Asmongold's back on main channel. I did this art of him some time ago. I hope you guys like it. It is what it is. With the shirt. Oh, I really like the individual hair strands on my forehead. Yeah, thanks a lot for that, man. With the OTK thing in the background, really appreciated. Thanks a lot, dude. Let me look at the other ones. Asmon on Lost Ark yesterday. What the hell? Oh, because, yeah, I had to cough that stuff up, right. 9.2 is on February 22nd, but if you go into the PTR forum, you'll see class feedback threads have hundreds of comments, and more than half have received zero communication regarding legitimate complaints about bugged sets and broken coding. The patch is literally being rushed because of Elden Ring. I don't know anybody who's going to be like, oh man, dude, I was gonna play Elden Ring, but 9.2 is out. Fuck, man. I'm not going to be able to do it now. This sucks. Yeah, that's not going to happen, man. It's not going to happen. Everyone's going to play Elden Ring anyway. Like, you're just going to take time out. Like, Blizzard's dumb for even trying that. Yeah, they're dumb for even trying it. It's Destiny 2. Who cares? Yeah, it could be Destiny 2 as well. Anyway, let me look back over here and try this. Stream lagging? That's on Twitch, not me. I didn't drop any frames. Yeah, man, like dead ass, man. You know what I really fucking hate about this? If it'll load? What I really fucking hate about this is the fact that you made my hair gray. Like, you made my fucking hair gray. It's not the hat, it's not anything else. It's the fact that you made my fucking hair gray. Like, you're 40 though? I'm not 40, alright? I'm not gonna be 40 for a while. The gray, I feel like I've gotten a few gray hairs in my beard, and every single time I get one, I have to lay down in bed. But, you know, it sucks. And that's why I have on my, look, nobody knows really how old I am. Okay, I'm 31, right? But I have on my profile 28 plus, okay? Yeah, it's on my profile 28 plus. Let me see if I can find the rest of this. Rich chat delivers. Fucking hilarious. What I really wanted to do. The best thing about this is the fact that, like, you know... Oh, wait. Okay. I thought he was just gonna, like, step on his hand or something, but no. It was even more savage than that. Oh, here you go. Here you go, Father Armin. We're gonna... See ya, bitch. Ain't no demons in my game. Yeah, there we go. Founders changes. Look, Founders Pack changes. Yeah, I'll look at that in a minute. Asmongold is a member of the... Okay, yeah, very funny. Another weird-looking guy from, you know, 50 years ago. Let me see here. Menu, Magic Seeds. I think I'd seen a few more of these. Put me in the next Asmongold costume contest, please. I actually really like that. That looks good. You definitely probably should be there. And let's see. Is this it? All right, let's look at this, and then we're going to watch the Belluer video. F? Is this Twitch effing, or is it me effing? Does anybody else have any other streams up? Give me an idea about what this is. It's bait. I can still see you. Stream's fine. Okay. All right. Cool. Let's see here. Amazon will be giving extra Founders Packs if you create a character on a new server. Are Founders Pack mounts... So, like, if I make a character on another server, and then I can go and I make a character on another server, do I still get the Founders Pack on my main character? Because, like, I don't think so. No, yes, no, it's not bait, it's not tradable. Yeah, I have no idea, man. Make a character on another server, go back? Yeah, bait and switch them, man. Fuck them. That's the way I see it. Players have let us know one of the reasons they're reluctant to switch to lower population servers is because many of them have already redeemed their Founders Packs on another server. To help combat this, we're giving it back. Listen, Amazon, it's very simple. Amazon, AK Blades, thank you very much for the five subs. Thank you very much. And it's server bound, not account bound. Oh, okay. You can just claim it again on your main server again, no need. All right, I'll look into that in a bit, okay? I'm just not sure exactly how that works. Read it all? Okay, I'll read it all. To help combat this, we're exploring new servers and a more reasonable choice. We're granting all Founders Pack purchasers that redeem their pack by 12 p.m. with an extra set of exclusive items they redeemed, as well as additional royal crystals for silver, gold, and platinum pack purchasers. Wait, so do I get my... Am I getting the red one? Oh my god. What, dude? Oh my god. Alright, yeah, that's fucking awesome, man. Is this Diablo? It's Diablo if Diablo was an MMO and it got updates more than once every 4 years. Yes, that's correct. Wondering what Destiny 2 is in a 3-minute nutshell? I'm not. Let's see. Wait, Arkman Mauled is a weeb now. Yeah. The thing is, like, I've watched anime for years, man. Okay, let's look at this real quick. When we take over Activision, indicating leadership overhaul. So, Microsoft president, I'm going to look at this, and then there's also an article about Phil Spencer talking about WoW, and then I want to watch the Belluer video about Lost Ark, because I've been kind of pushing that off. Okay, let's see here. Microsoft President Brad Smith did an interview with NBC and called out Activision Blizzard and said they should make workplace culture and safety a priority, and specifically said, quote, when we take over at Activision, indicating leadership overhaul is on the horizon. You know what I say? Good. Good. Thank you, Brad. I appreciate it. This is very much appreciated. So this is the reality, right? Is that name one thing that Blizzard did right in the last 4 years. One product that Blizzard has done right. Len Karen, thank you very much for the 50 gifted subs. Classic, they fucked it up. They fucked up Classic in so many ways. Yeah, the only good thing is selling Microsoft. The company is hilariously mismanaged. Senpai Prime Alpha with the 5 subs too. Thank you guys very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys. Holy shit, wow. Diablo 2, was it Resurrected? Was good. Bolt Aurora, thanks for the 5 subs as well. Thank you. Here's what I think. PvP vendor? No, this isn't something, I mean like actual, like structural decisions in the company. The fact is that Blizzard, for the last, in my opinion, 5 years, maybe even more, has been floundering around like a dead fucking fish. They've been floundering around like a dead fucking fish. And I'm glad that this is happening. I really am. No F for me. No F, it's fine. Maybe we should time out people that are spamming Fs if the stream is fine. If we can have a mod or somebody confirm that some people are getting Fs, then we won't. But if none of the mods are getting Fs or nobody that I trust is getting Fs, we should just time out the people that are doing that. Destiny video? I don't care about Destiny. Okay, so it's Twitch? Yeah, it's Twitch. Let me look and see. Probably some people are getting them. If you aren't dropping frames, it's Twitch. Yeah, definitely. Well, anyway, all I'm saying is that if Blizzard is going to be taken over by Activision, the main thing that we want is for them to have new leadership. What is the main problem with Blizzard, it seems? Leadership. It's awful. Like, yeah, the games are problematic too, but I think the games are problematic because the leadership makes them that way. So I think this is a good thing. That's what I'm really trying to get at. I think it's a very good thing. Phil Spencer chat with Steven Totillo. Xbox aspirations with Activision Blizzard. Journalist Steven Totillo recently had a chat with Activision's CEO Phil Spencer, where he got to ask some questions about Xbox's plans with Activision Blizzard in the future. Sorry, I've got this snot thing where like the snot is like in between my nose and like my mouth, and I have to like sometimes like it's so fucking annoying, man. I don't know how to get rid of it. Yeah, it's just fucking nasty. And whenever I'm talking a lot, obviously it agitates it. God damn it, man. According to Totillo, Phil Spencer put an emphasis on rising player count for their games during their conversation. This increase is achieved by, first and foremost, the title's quality. However, accessibility plays a part in widening a game's reach as well. For Xbox-owned games like Halo Infinite and Forza Horizon, accessibility, yeah, because you can play it on PC too. Let's see. So there's all of that. Let's talk about what he says about WoW. Spencer said, yeah, I want more people to be playing WoW in 5 years than are playing today. I want more people to be playing Call of Duty in 5 years than people playing Candy Crush in 5 years because we've made it more accessible to more people. I mean, the thing is, like, that doesn't say a lot to me. Yeah, that doesn't really say a lot. Like, if he was mentioning World of Warcraft exclusively, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, this does mean something. But, like, he's just mentioning all the games. So it's like, okay, well, that's fine. Like, as I said before, Phil Spencer, if you're watching, please come on my show, okay? Please come on Allcraft and we can talk about this situation. We'd love to have you on. We can do it anytime that fits your schedule. But, 3 p.m. on Thursday would be ideal. Either way, yeah, we can negotiate this. He's not watching. Yeah, he's probably, I have a good feeling Phil's probably not watching. Anyway, I will, I'll be waiting for the call. Regardless, I think it's good that obviously they're thinking about this. And I do think that if they put the WoW subscription on the Battle Pass or on the Game Pass, excuse me, for Xbox, the Microsoft Game Pass, that would be fucking huge. It would be absolutely fucking huge if they did that. And it would be so good for the game. I would be so happy if they did that. JC with the 5 subs, thank you so much. What are you asking? What What about with asking an interview with lead WoW dev? I mean, I'd be down for that too. Like, I'd like to interview any of them and just talk to them about, like, you know, what they're doing, like what their plans are, what's going to happen, etc. I mean, absolutely. Benefit who? Microsoft or Blizzard? I mean, I think well, it's the same thing now, so it doesn't really matter. They need to remove the WoW token if they do that? I don't think they need to remove the WoW token, but maybe they do. I'm not really sure. Anyway, so I think this is a good thing. Let's go back and let's watch the Bellier video about Lost Ark, okay? Chili Man with the 5 gifted subs. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I bounced off Lost Ark. All right. Here we go. Let's see how this goes. My PC console. Let's see over here. Check library. Make sure you didn't already download it. Oh, yeah, guys. Again, the game is going to be coming out. As I said before, the game is coming out in 45 minutes. Yeah, it is coming out in 45 minutes. So if you want to get it pre-downloaded, I would say that is definitely a good idea. Yeah, get that shit pre-downloaded so you're ready to go as soon as possible. All right, guys, let's go ahead and start it. And I'll pause the music too so we can actually listen to the video. All right. We can, what's this here? Can you get in queue? I don't think you can join queue yet. Better log in, Asmon, before you sit in queue. Wait, is there an actual queue? You can't even log in at the moment? So why is somebody saying that? Are they just goofing and clowning and gaming around? Am I getting goofed on? Guys, did you just goof on me? Because they stupid. Okay, all right. Sounds good.
I actually bounced off Lost Ark for the first bit. Yeah, I really did, and I was kind of surprised about that. But now, a good few more hours later, no, I'm actually in. I'm more than in, I'm very on board. It's an interesting game, and it's an odd game in how it starts. I have a feeling a lot of people will have just sort of thought, whoa, what's going on? And then, a few things happen, you notice a few things, and you're just in there for the experience.
I feel like the story didn't get good until the siege. Like, until you meet Thyrane, the story is like, oh, well, there's a buzzard over there, and there's a crazy old woman, and she doesn't know anything, but she knows how to summon the secret city. You gotta go over there. It's like the story was just, it was a spoiler. Well, you know what? Too bad. You're watching a video, it's a review of the game, that's what you get. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't play the beta. I didn't play the Russian version.
I played the beta a little bit.
I didn't play the Korean version. I didn't do any of those things. I was going in straight up, like most of you, as an entirely brand new player. And very initially, I was actually very impressed. Now, there are some downsides that come with the territory, like the gender lock classes, stuff like that. Yeah, sure, whatever. It's a Korean game. It is what it is. Where I first started to think, oh, okay, this is kind of snazzy, is actually the very start of the game where I walk across the big sort of cosmic bridge. Oh, and the camera moves. And the scale is actually incredible. The scale's maybe more incredible than I'm used to in games like that.
Well, it's like, the thing is with, as I said, this is something with like Eastern games, and it's also with like Path of Exile too, is like the scale and like the cosmic proportion of the game is just completely fucking out of control. It's like you fight a boss and then, okay, so all right, you're gonna fight a boss, he's on the moon, right? Well, okay, in the second phase, he blows up the moon. And so you have to get on a spaceship from the exploding moon, and you have to follow the dragon through space, shooting lasers at the dragon in space. And then you hit the dragon, one of his wings falls off, he collapses into a volcano. You have to climb down the volcano, fighting also the volcano dragons that live there organically, kill all of them, then get to the center of the dragon's lair inside of the internal volcano, and you fight him, and he's too powerful, so you have to call down a nuclear blast from a satellite that blows him up. It's like there's never a sense of like, is this believable? Is this Is there any sense of realism here? No, that's out the window. No, bro, that's out the fucking window. Like, there's no, like, nah, man. It's like this is the coolest shit you could possibly think of. All right, this is what we're gonna do.
I'm thinking, okay, this is going somewhere.
Yeah, I love the intro,
and then I have to choose
too.
my advanced class. I think
you played a girl character, dude. No, you ever played a girl character. Oh shit, man. Oh man. Wow. Good one, Mike. Oh jeez. You played a girl.
a lot of the people for Lost Ark, a lot of us actually chose our advanced class before the game
I
actually
picked the Shadow Hunter.
But quite different from what I understand to the intro experience otherwise, like starting off at level 10 with your advanced class. Bam, here's 6 buttons. It can be a little bit sort of confusing, a bit overwhelming for those of us who didn't 100% research the game beforehand.
I think that's definitely true. Like in the very beginning of the game, it can be extremely overwhelming how many spells and skills you get all at the same time. Like I would definitely say that. Because it's like, wait, what the fuck? Like, all of this shit's happening all at the same time. Like, oh my god. It's a lot. Just spam them? Well, that's not how you play the game. That's not how you get good at the game.
In terms of that, like researching, you know, not what it is, but play strategies, guides, all of that. Anyway, I go through that. That's time for the prologue. And I initially start to feel a bit weird about the prologue because I see a massive skip prologue button. And that just makes me think, what? But I'm like, oh, this world is kind of rich, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, lush, vivid. The general world design, map design is surprisingly solid. And then, I'm able to hit the G key to do things like jump or to navigate across a little thing.
Yeah.
Then I kind of think to myself, oh shit, hang on. Those are animations they didn't have to do. And yeah, it's just playing a canned animation, but it's a bit more immersive. It's a bit more fantastical. Nice.
Well, yeah, it seems like they put a lot of effort into those little things. And those little things do matter a lot. Yeah. The G key, yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, all of those little small changes and improvements, those are things that people remember, and it makes it feel better.
Voice acting hits me, though. Yeah, it kind of sounds like the voice acting was done on Fiverr with not really that many revisions.
The voice acting sucks.
At the start. The VO actually does, at least for the English localization, improve
That's all
later
there is
on.
to it.
Though broadly speaking, one of the things that still I'm a little bit iffy on is the quality of that localization. It's
not the best.
Stiff, if I was to use one word. Right, just the way that characters talk. Because, of course, when you're localizing from one language into the other, it can be quite hard to keep a character's, like, tone. So I think if this game has been localized in the middle of the pandemic with, you know, remote working and stuff like that, it's probably made those voicing sessions not be as effective. So at the start, it's a bit like, whoa, who's this guy? What's that guy? Whoa, it's Morpheus!
Yeah.
And you're a little bit confused. You're a little bit off kilter. It's very start-stop in its gameplay.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And then, though, you do
There's
get
a
some
lot of
cooler
shit
things,
that happens.
Right? Some cooler set pieces. And that's when I start to think to myself, okay, you know, this is obviously a game with a surprisingly big budget. This is a game that's done pretty well.
Yeah.
It's actually really putting some effort in. Now, for the initial part, I'm kind of thinking you put a lot of effort in, but why is the script really flat? Why are the set pieces, you know, why is it just paced the way that it is? Why have you thrown me into this world where I actually don't understand much at this point? You know, what is the role of my character? A lot of that, like, player onboarding experience felt a bit rough, and I'm just sort of thinking to myself, okay, this is odd. I'm confused. Then, though, I reach the first town, and I start to feel actually a little bit more
See, the first town here looks fucking amazing. Like, I love the way this looks. I'm a huge fan of this. I think this is amazing. It looks really, really good. Even the cinematics, they're small, but they do matter.
And that's something that's going to really increase as I get toward the end. But it's time for my first foray into the world. And this is initially where things are jarring, because it went against my expectations. Quests are super short. Side quests are super short. In fact, little dynamic quests can just spawn in when you're running through the world. And initially, I started to be a little bit like, oh, what is up with this stop-start gameplay? I'm not really sure what I should be expecting here. Then it started throwing me into some of those little solo dungeons. and those start to be a little bit better.
That's the best content so far for me. Is that the one thing that I really enjoy with the game more than anything else is the solo dungeons and the solo content. That is the best shit to me.
And then very slowly what happens is I begin to just get into the rhythm, get into the pace. And I suppose that's the thing. Ultimately, this is a Korean MMO being localized over to the West.
Yep.
Clearly there's some things that are just a little bit different. And once my own expectations sort of actually matched the pacing of the game, what I found was, even when I was still thinking, I'm not sure what to think about this, I had this one more quest thing going on. And I'm sure you've had it as well.
Yeah, you just keep going.
As you progress through those zones, you just kind of want to go to the next marker, kill the guys, keep on going. It ends up...
Well, I think another reason for that is because the quests, like, let's be honest, guys, the quests are fucking easy. Like, they are fucking easy. Like, 9 times out of 10, the quests are a joke. And so, because of that, it's like, I'll just do another one. I'll just do another one. It's take a little bit of time. But also, like, people want to do another one because they get a chance to have more combat opportunities. That's the main thing.
Quite a Moorish experience to go through. Especially then, as you start to unlock just 1 or 2 of the extra abilities. And you can start to properly customize your character out a little bit. That's before the engravings even come in, right? So it's slowly growing on me. Now, through this entire time, even when I was a little bit lost in the game, the one thing was just those spell effects and that combat feel. Because that's the one thing they've really got right for the type of game that it is. And I mean this on the, initially, the most base surface level.
Okay.
Because there's the back attacks and there's the weak points and there's all of the depth that actually does exist in this combat system. That is why when you later get into dungeons and when you when you look...
I also like how loot just drops on the ground and it's shiny. Like, one thing that feels good in the game is getting loot. Like, for example, Diablo 3 did this really well. Like, if you kill a Rift Guardian, or you finish a Rift, like, it's like the game, it's like they bust a nut of purple items on you, or they bust a nut of orange or like green items on you, and you just see the whole thing, and that's the way it feels. It's like the kill boss, like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like, then it pops out and you see all the loot go up there, you see all the names, like, oh, that's a belt, oh, what? And you're excited to see it, man. That's what it's about.
What people say about the well, I think especially the T3 content, but as you move through the raid content, you can see there's a lot of depth in the combat. But the very basic game feel is just great. A bunch of dudes come at you, and you just get to tear them to shreds. And certainly as a Shadow Blade, or Shadow Hunter, I just found all of my buttons were satisfying. And then especially as I unlocked more buttons, they became super, super satisfying. So it has that pretty good thing going on where you're consistently getting more loot. The player fantasy is generally quite strong. You feel quite powerful. You do cool things. But even when all those things were true for me, I wasn't properly into the game because with some of the stiff dialogue, the inconsistent quality voice acting, there was just some things taking me out of the experience. In addition to the UI being just a little bit in my face. But this slowly begins to melt away.
You see, like, I never gave a fuck about, like, the shitty dialogue. Like, this is the best thing about, like, streaming a game, is that if you stream a game and the game sucks, that doesn't matter. Because it's content if it's good, and it's content if it's bad. The only time it's not content is if it's mediocre. So, like, whenever, for example, like, the guy is, like, and then he says a whole sentence, that's funny. Right? But if the dialogue's just boring, then who gives a shit?
Now, very initially, you're playing with, sort of mostly you're questing around with the priest character. And he's cool enough, right? Where it really starts to get good, though, is when we actually get properly into essentially the power struggle. The power struggle for, just for that kingdom. And I think there's a moment. There is a moment where Lost Ark
30 minutes
almost
till the game goes
grabs
live.
A lot of people. For me, there's really 2 moments.
That's so fucked up. Bellier's gonna talk about how whenever the horse dies, that's whenever things get fun. You really gonna do this?
2.1. The point 1 is actually just the first proper
multiplayer
dungeon that I go into. Because do a boss there, and it's like, okay, this feels pretty good.
Yeah.
The first moment, though, truly the first moment, was the Morai dungeon. That dungeon is great.
Oh, wow.
And
you
that
got
is
pretty,
where the game
far.
started to impress me.
Damn.
The scale, right? And I'm sure so many of you who have actually jumped into the game have felt this as well.
Yeah.
The sheer scale in that dungeon
That's what I said too.
It's just so much bigger than what you've seen before in the game. And you keep on going, and it's a long dungeon, and it's a fun dungeon. You're doing decently varied things as you're going through it. The boss fight where, the dude walks in and then all the warriors just, like, sort of march in your party.
Yeah.
And they sort of slowly constrict the play space. That is a really cool boss.
Wait, they restrict the play
crazy
space?
thing in the world, but just the way that it's executed is fantastic.
Wait,
and then just all those times where, you hit the G key to do some vaguely interesting movement. And
that was really cool too. Yeah, I didn't even know that happened. Yeah, I had no fucking idea any of that happened. I just went in there and I was like, okay, so I just basically I'm a big berserker. You see the sword? Well, we swing that around and, see what happens. Yeah, I just whirlwind him down. I didn't even think about it. I didn't even care at all about the mechanics.
While that's not mechanically mega interesting, it's quite fantastical, isn't it? It just makes the fantasy work.
And also, like, another thing to keep in mind with Lost Ark is, like, this is, I'm going to contrast it with New World, is whenever you're in this dungeon, like, if this was New World, the NPCs, the first guys would be the skeletons that go like this, and then the second guys would be the skeleton archers, and then the boss would be one of the big skeleton that goes like this, and then the last boss would be one of the brutes, like the big guys, like, and he runs around, and that would be the whole thing. So yeah, the variety in the NPCs and the way that they behave and everything like that, it makes you feel like you're really progressing through the game. It's Dupe World. Yeah, do I still have the picture? Yeah, there you go. There it is.
And it's that little bit of extra effort. And Smilegate continually use that they can just use the G key to get you to do some sort of animation to get somewhere. They continually
it's like
do
your extra
that
action
to try
button.
to make their play spaces just more varied, more interesting. And I really appreciated that. So I did that dungeon. I think I did it in the hard match-made difficulty.
He didn't.
Big old
No way.
splash salute at the end. And I'm just thinking to myself, okay, the game's finally...
Yeah, no, it was on normal.
I finally feel it. I finally feel how I could be doing a whole bunch of these dungeons at the end game and really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So that was the first point where the game truly, truly clicked for me. But then, the bit of the game clicked for me that I really didn't expect. And that was actually just...
the story, right.
The main story. Now, I don't mean...
Look at that, man. I'm a fucking mind reader. I know what they're going to say before they say it. Look at that. Because I know how I pre-watched it. Yeah, I pre-watch every video. That way I have better commentary for it, okay? What can I say? Yeah, that's how big my brain is. I was laying in bed. Okay, what's he going to say here? All right, so I guess I should pause right now. Yeah, I'll pause right now and say true. That's the kind of stuff.
This from the perspective of, I'm suddenly thinking, wow, these are the most in-depth, interesting characters ever. No, I'm not saying that whatsoever. But as a vehicle for some fun set pieces, right? I mean, that's really what a lot of ARPG stories are. It started to work. So as I was just blasting through these zones, you sort of start to get that plot. You kind of get immersed into it. Now, the side quests... Sometimes I did the side quests, sometimes I didn't.
I just always do the side quests because it's more experience. Like, why the fuck would I not do it? It gives me more points. I want more points. Give me more points. It's that simple.
I didn't feel that I needed to, and to be honest,
who gives a shit?
To me it had seemed like the game where I just want to hit level 50 and really jump into that end game, really get into that super fun hard content.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that is mostly my goal. But still, I'm kind of learning things. I'm moving through a nice variety of zones, seeing some of the local plights. Then, of course, the prince character gets involved. Now it's you, the prince, and the priest off on your merry little adventure.
See, I had the same experience.
It actually does start to
really
work quite well. Now, the characters are just there as their archetypes. They act as you would expect, but...
I'll read a comment here in chat. Someone says, this guy is so out of touch with reality. A very high majority of players does not give a single crap about the story and not find it worthy of quitting a game over. Well, so, like, you're right, but you're not right at the same time. And what I mean by that is that a lot of people play through the game, and because the story isn't compelling, they are bored. So they're not quitting the game because the story isn't compelling. They're quitting the game because they're bored. So it's not like, oh, well, I don't like the story or whatever, because there is a lot of time in the game where you spend a lot of time like traveling, and you get the dungeons, which are really cool, but there's a lot of times where you're not in the dungeons. And that's how it goes. They're bored because the story is not compelling. No, exactly. Yeah. And that's the thing. You're 100% wrong? No, I don't think so at all. I think that you can look at the popularity of games like Final Fantasy, the frustration with the WoW storyline, etc. I think that there's a lot of people who care about story in games. Like, whenever you say a lot, what does a lot mean? I don't know. But there are a good amount of people that I believe feel that way.
They're satisfying. They are a pretty good just vehicle for smashing things up. And where it really starts to hit is, of course, the siege. And the siege is the second
Bro, he says
big
the
thing.
same shit as I do.
And I mean, spoiler
oh my God.
That's something you care about.
This is exactly it.
Lost Ark, but that's really as far as I really want to talk with the story. But that whole siege bit of the story
this is fucking
awesome. Just fucking cool.
True.
As simple as that. And it's one of those moments where I
Very
thought, okay,
true.
if this was just a grind ARPG, and, you know, to a degree it is going to be, but
yeah.
if it was just that, they probably wouldn't have bothered to make this so cool. And if it was just the sort of thing that people would write off, like, I don't know, a dungeon fighter online, you wouldn't expect it to have been that cool. But no, this sense of scale is there. And I was really impressed how they pulled it off. Like, from that bit where you climb up that siege tower, the camera starts to lift up, you feel some of that scale. It actually starts to feel epic. And then you combine that with just the sheer quantity of characters that are on screen. And then with how, because of the way the combat system is designed, you know, you're constantly staggering enemies and you're staggering big groups of them and blasting them down with abilities that just feel so good to press.
Well, it's not just that, it's also how the camera shifts around. Because, like, you don't feel like, oh, you're just doing this one thing. Like, it's shifting from, like, here to here, from here to here, from here to here, here to here. There's, like, a top down, you know, from, like, here to here. And, like, it changes a lot. This is basically, like, what I had wanted. Everybody said, this is the Siege of Warderon that we could have had.
It's really getting good.
And it's seamless,
so there you are,
too.
top the walls. You've got the character call-outs. You've got really just nice set-piece stuff.
20 minutes,
nice spectacle stuff. Way above the production values that I would have expected. I mean, you know, you look at... when you think about games and you think about, a great high-quality set-piece, you don't think that an action RPG or a MMORPG, that they're really going to have that sort of thing. But actually, Lost Ark is quite evidently capable of doing that. And that fundamentally is actually quite exciting. And even just little things like, you know, power sliding your way down the chain.
Yeah, that was really cool.
To get to the mages who are, you know,
and the thing is, like, whenever you do that, your character is immediately in the game. Like, the cinematic seamlessly transitions into the actual game. And I think that's what's really immersive about it. Is, like, you don't feel like it's a loading screen. Yep, with 20 minutes until the game comes out. That's right, boys. 20 minutes.
The big force field thingy in the door. That's just cool. They really nailed that siege.
Yeah, I agree.
I almost think it's a pity the game didn't start. I mean, there's obviously something to be said for pacing, but man, it's that second dungeon in that siege. They truly, truly grabbed me.
Yeah, it would have been cooler if you had a big moment like this earlier in the game, but it's like this is pretty early, even where it is now.
Left feeling very satisfied after that.
Absolutely.
Now, of course, as you move through that siege, you then get into, you know, some of those solo boss fights, and it's funny. they consistently made me feel like such a dumbass purely because I kept on animation locking myself. Kept on animation locking myself into getting hit by stuff that should be so easy to not be hit by. And then also, I'm just so used to like, oh, spacebar is dodge, but actually, no, you do have a cooldown on that. And you have to manage your things decently well. But those fights are fun. In the same way that, to me, the Diablo boss fights were always, like, actually pretty fun in D3 and Reaper of Souls. They were fun to me in that way. And overall, at this point...
The boss fights are my favorite thing in the game. Like, I actually get mad whenever I kill a boss. Because now it's over. Like, we don't have another phase. Like, whenever I fought that dragon and I just dumpstered him, it was like, well, now what? But now what? Like, I gotta wait fucking an hour to do another one of these?
I'm thinking, okay. It's bared its fangs and sort of sunk itself into my flesh, if that's the analogy that I'm going to go for. And it feels good. I feel gripped. I feel like I want to keep this character going. I want to get more power. I want to see more of those set pieces. See more of the dungeons that they have available.
Yeah, now
that's
what?
where the game finally clicked for me. About like level 25, 26, 27, 28. And then, of course, you unlock, you unlock the big city.
Mm-hmm.
Big city's pretty damn cool. And that's where I started to realize, oh shit. The game's actually opening up to me right now, isn't it?
Wow.
Because then I'm taken to my stronghold.
Wow.
And I go through the initial quest for the stronghold, and I'm thinking,
And
okay. And then there's the engravings, there's all the other things. And I'm just thinking to myself, right, this game is expanding out. And then you, of course...
It certainly is expanding out, isn't it? Oh my god. Yeah, it certainly does open up. The Moko cult? Yeah, dude. I thought this was probably, like, the fact that they're in the heart and they're doing that. Like, it was just... It was so fucking ridiculous. Wait a second.
Other things, and I'm thinking, oh, hold.
Oh, never mind. For a second, I thought he didn't have the heart around him. I thought they didn't give him the heart. But no, apparently I thought I was special for a second.
And I go through the initial quest for the stronghold, and I'm thinking,
Damn.
okay. And then there's the engravings, there's all the other things.
Too.
And I'm just thinking to myself, right, this game is expanding out. And then you, of course, remember to right-click on the map enough that you see the multi-continent world map. And then you realize, bloody hell, Lost Ark is absolutely massive. And then, of course, I remember that at some point I'll be able to get a boat, go to different islands, and do things in the islands.
Yeah.
So it's a rather big game. It's a rather big game, and that is absolutely a strength of a game that, see, from what I understand, Lost Ark basically was a bit laughed at in Korea for a time. But they turned it around in the most spectacular fashion. And I think...
See, like, that's one thing I like about... you see games like... There's, like, Final Fantasy is the best example. Another good example we've got here in America. We've got, fucking... What was that shit where you fly around and nothing worked? No Man's Sky? No Man's Sky. We've had that as well. And they just continuously made the game better. And that's what a lot of people like to see is people want to see a redemption arc. People, unless it's Sylvanas, people want to see the bad game get good. Because most of the people who hate the bad game hate it because they wish it was the good game. That's what I think.
Now we're at a situation where basically... There's just so much content,
so
much development has went into this game. And in fact, there are really nice quality of life features that are going to be hitting the Korean version before they hit the Western version that show that the devs are like really just clued in and get it. And then, of course, you think about Lost Ark Online. It's not called Lost Ark Online Live, whatever it is.
Online.
The sort of 7-hour, basically, big Yoshi P live stream style thing that they do. And then you start to think, oh, wait, shit. There seems to be pretty ample reason to have a lot of faith in this game. So that, at its essence, is the core of why I initially got a bit confused with Lost Ark. I didn't click. But then... through the quality of a bunch of that content and the core game feel being excellent, Lost Ark actually did click for me. And that does mean that I'm going to be continuing to play Lost Ark.
Smart guy. And that's the thing, is like, that's what happens with a lot of people, is that they get into the game and it's hard for them to really get into it, and they get first. You know what game that happened to me with was Valheim. Like, Valheim was like that. The first time I played Valheim, I'm gonna be honest, guys, I died to the deer. I died to Ecthir. And I quit the game. Because Izzy was playing the game and she said that she beat the deer, and I played the game and I couldn't beat the deer. And I'm like, is Pink Sparkles truly a better gamer than I am? And I went to bed. I went to bed. I was so upset. I was like, this is it. I'm done. I'm finished. I'm completed. I'm done. Okay, what's this here? Lost Ark launch delayed. Let's go ahead and look at this. I'm going to pull up the tweet right now. Unfortunately, due to deployment issues, launch does delayed. We hope to have this resolved in a matter of hours. Your patience is appreciated, and we'll update you soon. Thank you for the communication. In recompense, let's see, not recompense, what's the word for it? Restitution. I don't know. Like, what's the best word? Compensation. For compensation, I think that I should get an extra platinum box for my account because I learned the wrong color of Cerberus and everyone keeps making fun of me for it. How about that? Is that good? Is that good? We send it? Okay, let's do it. We're sending right now. Thank you for the communication. We have to say like extra platinum box for my account because I learned the wrong color of Cerberus and makes fun of me. Okay, all right, we're good. Yeah, the smiley face is really important, okay? Like, you really, really, really need the smiley face. What's the right color? Red. Red is the right color. And we approve this message. Thank you. I appreciate that. And yes, I mean, the thing is, they will do it. Like, I'm pretty certain that I'm going to get the new color of the guy. So we'll see what happens. Yo, Asmongold, I love your content. Can we get a shout out to South Africans? Lost Ark is not available in our country. Apparently, the devs think South Africa is not a real country. That fucking sucks, bro. Honestly, just download a VPN and play it anyway. Like, yeah, of course. I mean, shout out to you guys, like 100%. Like, I mean, I'm thankful for any viewer I have, no matter where they're coming from, man. Like, so yeah, I got nothing bad to say about that. That's awesome. You can't use a VPN? I have no idea. That's not how publishing works, right? But it's okay. You don't need a VPN. You can just VPN to buy it, then disable the VPN. I would look up basically different ways to do it. That's what I would say. Thank you for communication compensation. Have I gotten a response back from them? They haven't said yes. Well, they haven't said no either, so I think they're probably going to let me do this. So yeah, the game got delayed. Game's delayed. The game being delayed, what that means is that it's not going to come out. Basically, like, it's not going to come out whenever they said it was going to. It's going to come out after that. So, like, that's kind of, like, that's the situation of, like, yeah. You guys see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's the way it goes. You know the reason I do that? Like, the where I got that joke from? Is from I'm gonna just say this and we're gonna get back to the video. Is I got it from Wolf of Wall Street. Whenever Leonardo DiCaprio asks Donnie or Jonah Hill, so what's this shit about, like, you know, you marrying your cousin? He's like, well, no, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. See, we're not really cousins. Well, basically what it is, though, is that, like, my dad and, like, her dad they were brothers. So, like, it's kind of like this weird thing where it fits together. And he like explains it out. It's too long to explain. Yeah, it's really complicated. And ever since then, it's just the funniest fucking shit, man. Oh my god. What's the problem? Hey, it is what it is, man. Okay, what server are you on? I'm on the one server. What's the server? What's the server called? What server is it called? Galatar. Yeah, I'm on Galatar, guys. And so if anybody wants to be on Galatar and you want to play with the true champion, the literal god himself, yeah, I'm on Galatar. And yeah, he said he wasn't going to let anybody else. Yeah, it's like if somebody's going to be fucking his cousin, it might as well be him, right? I mean, come on. So it's like, I mean, what's wrong with that? It is what it is. It's locked. Wait, they locked Galatar? Holy shit. Well, look, whenever you guys can, you guys said there's another tweet? Really? Let me go ahead and pull it up and see for myself. Okay, Lost Ark, and is there another tweet? I should respond to their good morning and say not anymore. It looks like, yeah, they haven't responded to my comment yet. So we'll see what's going to happen. Launch is getting delayed, and it's going to be delayed until it's not delayed, guys. Like, look, guys, every fucking game is like this. The days that we used to have as young boys where we would log on and play the game on release day, that's not going to happen anymore. One day it will happen once quantum computing and cloud computing becomes so powerful they'll be able to do it, right? Because of the scaling technology. But it's not now. I'm not even mad. I don't give a fuck. It's just going to come out when it's going to come out. And the thing is, like, people who paid, will they get the servers back? I have no idea. Yeah, I don't give a shit. Because, like, here's the thing. Like, I don't have a job or playing video games is my job, which is basically the same thing. Let's be honest. It doesn't matter to me. I'll just play it tomorrow. I'll just play it the next day. I'll be okay, guys. I'll survive. It's okay. We'll just keep reacting. Closed servers should be up unless they got to fix it for certain reasons. Why do it last minute? It should have been ready days before waiting for launch. You're right. There's always... Look, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. So, I mean, what, you want to get a refund for your free game? It's going to be out when it's out. Who gives a shit? Fuck it, dude. They didn't expect the amount of play. I feel like they did not expect the amount of people that the game had. I don't think so at all. I feel like at the last, like, maybe like week or two of the Lost Ark, like, people just went crazy about it. All right, let's keep going.
Now, in terms of what has piqued my interest, what's been of note to me, I think that real earnest effort that they make in the production value, I really like that.
So
and
that's
I think as I
character.
go on to more and more modern content, it'll be benefiting from a higher budget, or just for more experience. They've shown me they can make real cool shit, and then that's in the very base starting experience. So I'm excited to see how that goes. That's one thing. The next thing then is combat. So yeah, Shadowhunter. Man, now that I've actually started to play around with my abilities, like, I haven't really found a build perfect yet, and I've purposefully, I'm not looking up guides and things like that. I like to go into these games completely blind without research.
I did actually look up a small guide on engravings last night, and I watched it, and I don't understand it. But I understand it a little bit more. I understand like 10% or 20% of engravings. But, like, I'm not going to look up any class guides really or how to play, because, like, I'll just keep going and popping off and doing what I want to do. That's about it. I think here you are wrong. Some people work 8 to 9 to 10 hours a day and then miss 3 to 4 hours on queue. That's not an experience for 3 early access days. Wait, so what am I wrong about? What am I wrong? That, like... I said it sucked that they had to delay it. Like, it sucked. Like, what do you want me to do? Yeah, I mean, What do you do? Like, I don't really give it, and that's what I said. It's like, if you work a job, if you have a job, you don't have a lot of time to play. I bet this sucks, right? Because maybe you set aside time and you can't do that. Definitely fucking sucks. But like, for me, it doesn't matter to me. I don't give a shit. I just play the next day. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can do. Just give me your PS5.
Well, it's not
okay.
your job to know. No, actually, I'm not really doing guide content. I'm doing experiential content. I want to see how these games are able to onboard me to their experience.
I actually feel like it's better content to not use a guide. It is usually better content to not use a guide, because whenever you use a guide, that means that you're not having the organic experience. Like, people want to see you go in raw. And whenever you're not going in raw and you're just like figuring everything else out, looking it up, doing everything hyper optimized, it's just fucking boring. Like, I'll go back to the Shadowlands release. My Shadowlands release stream would have been better if it was just me and McConnell fucking around in Discord instead of me trying to go for max level realm first. It would have been better, even though I got 60 faster. Making content is not the same as, being, better or whatever in the game. That's the way I see it. But normies love it? No, normies don't love it because they watch it for fun. If normies loved it, then MDI streamers would get more than 90 viewers.
So as I play around with these, I'm beginning to think like, okay, there's really nice build diversity here. There are lots of satisfying buttons. And then with the tripods, you sort of fine-tune those abilities, and I found that to be very satisfying. Actually, for Shadowhunter, and have some of my range kits really fun. I then have the big one where you just transform into a massive demon and do 3 massive slashes.
I hate that
all
ability.
With spectacular sound.
One of the things that's hard for me to get used to in this game is the fact that the red circles don't snapshot, because in Final Fantasy you're trained to red circles and red abilities, the moment that they disappear, they snapshot. And like in Lost Ark, that's not how it works. It's just an indicator and then the attack occurs.
Effects and spectacular visual effects, which, by the way, you can tone down for other players in the settings. And certainly there are times where I would recommend toning down other people's spell effects just because, it could get pretty intense. I mean, even in FF14, that's something that I do. So that core combat feel is something that right now I'm really just meshing with.
Yeah.
And I can imagine the PvP in this game absolutely banging. So that seems like a very, very exciting thing.
Yeah,
and I can't remember if the game was Battle Right, but I just remember there was this brawler game that Total Biscuit liked. And I think, I don't know, for whatever reason, seeing his video on that all, back in the day, it's just made me quite excited about the idea of PvP within an action RPG, which is something that's wholly new to me. Of course, I remember
PvP in an action ARPG is called League of Legends. It's called Dota. Like, it plays a lot the same. Like, it's not the exact same, right? Of course, it's not the exact same. But, like, the actual combat, etc., you're playing an isometric game with characters that click to move, and you're using abilities that are keybound to certain keys on your keyboard. Obviously, there is like a million levels of nuance that I just completely threw in the garbage. Yes, I know that. However, there are a lot of people who just, they look at League of Legends, they see this game, and they're like, okay, this is more similar. It's the same as like Final Fantasy and WoW are more similar than WoW and Lost Ark. And I think Lost Ark and like League of Legends or Heroes of the Storm or Path of Exile are all within that same general like umbrella of movement and gameplay.
People talking about PvP for Diablo 3, but that like didn't really materialize, did it? And then, of course, the strongholds. Now, it's funny, the strongholds are so much. Like, I do, I see basically the mission table system. And that stuff's, iffy to me, mixed, whatever. But I'm willing to believe they can actually do it pretty decently here. I know there's other interesting things that go on with those ships. But it does seem like there's a lot to keep you busy with the strongholds. It also seems like the strongholds, like, as they go into crafting and all that, that all seems to be quite interesting. Again, for crafting, it's something that I've skipped because I really just want to hit level 50 and get into that level 50 content. But, from the initial bit that it's...
See, I don't give a fuck about getting to level 50. Like, I'm going to get to level 50 when I get to level 50. Like, I'm not worried about it because I know I'm going to get there. Yeah, launch is delayed, guys. Launch is delayed. Let me actually put that as text on the screen. Launch delayed. Should I type maybe for the new people? I'll just put launch is delayed. Not sure on ETA. Okay. Yeah, there you guys go. I'll put it right here. It'll be right above my my camera. Should make it easier. They said hours. Yeah. Well, 20 hours is a lot different than 3, right? And 3 hours is a lot different than 1. So we'll see what happens. It's vague. Yeah, it's intentionally vague. You know what else is hours? 48 hours.
Realized for me, I thought it looked kind of neat.
It's a 500-hour delay.
For me, there is just something about with an isometric game, just doing crafting in that, or gathering even, it's kind of nostalgic to me because of my time playing RuneScape as a kid. So the strongholds seem really cool.
The two-man
I want to customize that more.
Cool.
I've seen a lot of pretty cool customizations that people have done, so I really like that. This core level up flow, I'm really enjoying. Now that I'm actually customizing my abilities, I really appreciate what they're doing on the Shadowhunter, and I'm finding it to be really enjoyable. And I think the game is opening itself up and showing a sense of scale that actually... Matt described hitting that big city after the siege as, I think he called it mental waterboarding. Just because, like, he was, getting the engravings, then getting the strongholds, and it's like, holy shit.
That's why I quit that one day. Like, that's why I quit. I was so tired. I'm like, oh my God, I've got to go lay down. This is insane, man. Look at all this stuff I got to do. Like, I have to do the stronghold, and then I got to do the other stuff. Oh my God. Why is launch delayed? It's simple. Basically, the launch got delayed. Amazon told me that New World is just a priority. So, because Amazon has to run 75 dead New World servers, they can't open Lost Ark yet because the New World development team doesn't want Lost Ark to succeed, and they don't want to have competition. So that's what happened. It's crazy. I didn't expect this level of just absolute selfishness from Amazon Game Studios, but listen, guys, there's a first time for everything, right? It's sad to see. Thanks for the insider information. Yeah. Oh, they just DM'd me, told me not to talk about it anymore. Okay, yeah, never mind. I'm just kidding.
I'm being waterboarded with game mechanics. Now that could come off as being a little bit too strong, but I think purely based on the back of how bloody cool that siege was, I'm in. So that's my first impressions of Lost Ark. I think that the visual presentation is generally fantastic. It's a lovely, rich world to be in, so I'm really happy with the visual presentation. The combat, I'm really, really, really enjoying. The dungeons, especially the second dungeon that I did, are fantastic. They show a level of ambition and scale that is way beyond what I actually expected from a game like this. And then just for the broad game systems, it seems like there's a massive amount there. And then in terms of my faith in the game and faith in the development team, well, number one, we've got the story of its turnaround in the...
You don't need any faith. You know what's going to come out. You know what it's going to be. Like, this is why I was positive about the game, is because the game had already come out before. So like how like what do I need to think about? What do I need to worry about? Nothing, man. Because I just have that. Like I know what it's gonna be already. Watch Stoops video on gearing in game. I'll probably watch the Stoops video after this, okay guys?
Korean market. So that gives you a lot of faith. Then
Yeah.
there's the quality of the large presentations that the development team do. There is how the development team has generally been quite honest about the mistakes that they've made, and how, you know, I looked at some of the changes that are coming up in the Korean version, and they really seem to be good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of sitting there thinking, oh, darn, I wish they were here in the Western version, which is, you know, in a way bad, but I think more importantly, overall very good. It shows the core development team get it, and obviously that's just a, you know, they're not being perfect feature parity. That's just something that comes with the territory of a game that is being localized into other territories. I would like to change my voice acting to Korean and give that a spin. They did tweet as of 2 hours ago. I think there was a bug with that because I changed mine to Korean. And
I never understand this whenever people want to do that. I just don't get it. As I said this before, like I do not understand why people want to watch, like listen to something that it's more immersive. How's it immersive reading text on a screen? I don't know. Like it's just not. English voice acting's horrible. That's a good point. That is a good point. Yeah.
Basically all the sound effects broke. I think that's fixed now, so I'll have to jump in and see what the Korean is like. Perhaps the performances are more engaging there. And again, it's even another thing that comes from South Korea, in fact, Squid Game. It's really strange where the basically the subs on Squid Game are like nowhere near as good as the actual script for Squid Game, especially as it would be, you know, like as a Korean person watching it in Korea would find it. So I think it could just be a better, more fun experience swapping over to the Korean VO, but of course with English subs. So that's essentially my Lost Ark experience. I'm in. I don't really know what else there is to say. I'll do an update video probably when I hit max level or just when there's something else notable to say. But essentially that is how the game lost me initially and why, how it won me back again, and now how I'm thinking, okay, this has got legs, this has got promise, I'm excited, I am in.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people, like, people have gotten burned. I think there's, how many of y'all have gotten burned from New World? How many of y'all got burned from Shadowlands? How many people got burned from, you know, these other different games? And so, like, these games come out, and it's like they're fucked up, they don't work properly, etc., and it's just frustrating for a lot of people. So it would make sense that that's not what it is. Burned by any video game, to be honest. Well, yeah, people want to just play a game, Mortal Online. Yeah, people just, like, everybody is expecting, they're expecting the game to be bad. Basically, that's where we're at. They're expecting it to be bad.
So what's your Lost Ark experience been?
It's
Let
good.
me know down below, and I suppose
Good
that's
game
it for the video. Enjoy, have fun, and I'll see you next time.
It do be good game. That true. All right, let me go over here. We're gonna watch the Stoops video after that. Give me just 1 second. Dark Souls 3. Yeah. I mean, just a second. There we go. And I'll pull this up. Tired of the repeated bullshit. Lost Ark's a breath of fresh air for me anyways. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that feel that way. How to properly gear your characters. I might watch this because I have no fucking idea. Yeah, like I really have no fucking idea. And I want to see what this is for gearing my character. And what's this? Which video did you watch on Berserker Guide? I didn't really. You should watch the Clown Raid and Lost Ark. It's amazing. I don't want to watch it. I want to experience it myself at this point. Yeah, I'm ready to experience it myself at this point and get into it. They delayed the launch about 20 minutes ago. Yeah, I'll talk about that just real quick. Is that they did delay the launch. And the reason why, as I said before, is that I think that, like, no memes, no bullshit. The reason why it probably got delayed is just simply because there was so much of a larger influx of players that they weren't ready for it. Like, that's really what it is. I think more than anything else, that's the main thing. That's exactly what happened. Yeah, like, they got too many people, and it was overwhelming.
Alright, what's going on everyone? Welcome to my engraving / gearing guide for Lost Ark. A lot of you guys have been asking me on my stream like crazy to cover engravings, how do accessories work, how do ability stones work, what is all of this stuff on my screen, and how do I tell what stats are right for my class. In this video, I will cover all of that stuff for those of you that are new and looking to hop into the game, especially when progressing through tier 1 content. And hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have a much better idea of how the gearing system works overall. Now, fortunately, we do have a sponsor for today's video, so we'll hop into that and I'll see you right back here at the video. This video is sponsored by HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit delivery service. HelloFresh makes cooking at home easy, fun, and most important, affordable. With Valentine's Day coming up, you can skip the crowded, overpriced restaurants by enjoying a 3-course meal with your significant other, all from the comfort of your home. Unless you're like me and you just play video games all day.
Bro, I never have done one of these. Like, I know they have like the HelloFresh is like, it's like a meal prep service, right? Hashtag ad. Well, yeah, it's obviously an ad. Like, I mean, everybody knows it's an ad. They gave him money to put the ad in his video. Like, yeah, that's how it works. He said it was sponsored. Yeah. Like, what do you think? He's like, yeah, guys, so anyway, I was going to talk to you guys about Lost Ark, but just 1 second. Actually, just now that I think of it, I just wanted to talk to you guys about Jack Link's beef jerky. Listen, it's made with 100% real beef. It's just amazing, great food. Like, I mean, it's obviously a fucking ad. Everybody knows it's a fucking ad. Chat, shut up, you'd sell out too? Well, everybody sells out. That's what working a job is.
And you don't have a significant other, maybe me and you can share a dinner.
That was my first controller.
My birthday is on the 15th after all. Jokes aside, I was happy to partner with HelloFresh because I'm constantly at my desk streaming or working on a video. And if I'm being honest, this leaves me little energy or time to prepare my dinner. Sometimes I don't make it to the grocery store and I'll just end up eating out, which really isn't good for my health or my wallet. HelloFresh offers a wide variety of quick and easy recipes that allow me to maintain control over my food choices and cut back on some of that meal prep time or the trips to my local grocery store. Right now, use my link or go to HelloFresh.com and use PogStoop16 for up to 16 meals free and 3 surprise gifts across 6 HelloFresh boxes plus free shipping. Gifts include free...
Man, I wish they had given him a better creator code than that. Like, it would have been, like, that's a long code. Like, yeah, that's a pretty long code, man. It would have been way better if he had a smaller one.
Appetizers, free desserts, and free premium recipes. Consider giving HelloFresh a try. Check the link in the description for more information, and a big thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video.
There you go.
Alright, so when it comes to gearing in Lost Ark, it's actually not as convoluted as it may look or you may think. You have two sides to your character. You have the left side of your character where you have your actual equipment or armor, your helmet, your shoulders, your chest piece, your leggings, your gloves, your weapon. These are items that you're going to earn from various aspects in the game. You have your Chaos dungeons that you'll be doing early. You also have your Void dungeons or your Abyss dungeons, depending on the region that you've played on so far. And then you also have your raiding content, your Abyss raids and your Legion raids. When you start off the game early on, you're going to be doing Chaos dungeons, which are essentially your Rift-style Diablo content that you've seen a lot of players do in various videos. And you're going to get a starter set.
Dude, I'm so excited to do those. Like, I'm going to be honest. Like, everything, like, I want to play the game, like, now, dude. He's on Korea. Yeah, he's on Korea now. I know, it's his Korean character. Lost Ark free-to-play launch is a disaster. I have never thought of a bigger disaster than this. You know what I mean? Like, that's absolutely right. It's like you have, like, huge disasters. Like, I mean, you had, like, riots, you know, like... I don't know, like wars and, you know, like political assassinations, and then right up there with those earthquake is them being 15 minutes late for a free game. Yep. That's right. That's right. That's right. Astro World, move aside.
of gear through doing that. These blue items that you acquire, that's going to hold
It
you
is
over
15
until you
minutes
end
so
up
far.
crafting your own gear throughout
I
various
know.
vendors in the game, from doing those dungeons, those end game dungeons that are different than chaos dungeons, and your legion raids.
That's
You
what
don't
I
have to
wanna
know
do
all these
too.
terms, just know that you end up crafting your end game gear sets, and there is no RNG in acquiring these. There are different sets that
That's
offer
badass.
different set bonuses. On the
gonna
right
have
side
all
of
the
your
best gear in the
character,
game,
you're
by
going to
the way.
have your accessories, which are separate, and you'll acquire them through different means. You will not craft these. You will
I'm gonna have
find
all
them,
the best
loot
gear in
them,
the game.
or get them from the market from other players. The left side of your character, your actual equipment, will determine your overall item level. You will go to this honing vendor, I believe that's what it'll be
1.5K?
called on NA, and
That's a
you
big
upgrade
fucking
your
item
gear
level.
similar to what you've seen in other games. However, you do not diminish or downgrade your gear
Wanna start
if you
Twitter one
fail
down?
the
Let me see.
upgrade. Nothing happens. You just waste your mats, and you continue to upgrade your gear over time. If you fail enough times, you get an automatic 100% upgrade if you fail. That's a pity system built into the game. And that's how you'll progress the left side of your character. And that's really all you need to
Should be
know
good for
for
me.
at least the time being. I'll do a more in-depth video as you reach tier 3
Yep.
content. On the right side again, you have your accessories. And on these accessories, you'll see three things. You will see secondary stats like crit, agility,
Okay.
stats that you've seen in other MMOs before.
Yeah.
You will see something at the top called grade or quality. That will be a number. Some items will be lower in quality or grade. Some items will be higher in quality and grade. Essentially what grade or quality means is it determines how much of the secondary stat you will receive. So you have 200 max secondary stat on rings, 300 on earrings, and 500 on your neck piece. Meaning
Wow.
that the grade or quality on your rings rather are not as important as your earrings and your neck piece, right? Because you can only get 200 agility max on earrings, so getting 190 isn't that big of a deal at 75 grade or quality. When you look at your
That's a lot, dude. That's a lot. The thing is, people are, oh my god, it's so complicated. Oh man, how we gonna figure this shit out, bro? The game has been out for 3 days, man. Like, just give it a couple. You're gonna figure it out. Like, it's not that hard. Like, the thing is, like, you see kids playing this game. Like, there are kids that play this game, but you could figure it out. An 8th grader could figure this shit out. Yeah, it's not that hard. You just got to spend time on it. That's all. I got to take a piss, guys. I'll be right back. Okay? Give me 1 second. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm back. Did you wash your hands? Why would I wash my hands? Yeah, why would I wash my hands, dude? I got a clean dick. Why would I'm just confused. Why would I do that? Why would I wash my hands? That's weird.
earrings though, you can get 300, so you care more about it there, and then you have your neck piece.
This
However, early on, you care about none of that. Early on, especially when you first get into the game in the first tier, tier 1, which you will be in for about a week or two until you get to tier 2, and then that will be 2 to
I'll be done with it in a day. Probably maybe half a day. If I really try to go for it, I'll be done with it so fast. Like, trust me. Like, whenever I go in and I do bosses, I just beat them. Like, I don't think about it. I don't worry about it. I just do it. That's all there is to it.
3 weeks you'll probably be in there, 4 weeks if you're a newer player maybe, and then tier 3 comes out. And then in end game tier 3 is when you care about quality or grade, but we'll touch more on that later. So again, you have secondary stats. That's on the gear. You can see crit, you have your grade, and then you have something called engraving effects. Now I will have a video listed down below that does cover engravings in maybe a more in-depth fashion.
I might watch that because I need to figure this engraving shit out. Like, I really, really, really want to get, like, my goal today is to get the Madness engraving. Like, that's the one thing I want out of today. If I get nothing else, I don't care, as long as I get the Madness engraving.
Is a little bit more confusing to you, but I will cover it in today's video. All right, so right now I'm going to unequip all of my accessories, and you can see that I have we'll undo these as well, and you can see that I have no engraving effects.
Okay.
The way that you want to understand engraving effects is that it's a similar system to corruption, but a much better system than corruption if you've ever played Battle for Azeroth. And I know for some people that might give them the heebie-jeebies, but that's the best way.
No, bro, corruption was awesome. What do you mean? Corruption was big dick. Yeah, what do you mean? Dude, corruption was big dick. Like, I love corruption. It was fun. No, it wasn't. It wasn't fun. Wow, bad. Shut up. Popping a 5 million Twilight Devastation. That was fun. That was fun.
I can compare it to anything that I've played previously. Okay, so we're gonna look at our earrings. If you look at this piece of equipment, again, we have our secondary stats. At the top, we have strength, vitality. Again, that's just by default. Don't worry about that. You're looking at the secondary additional stats, and then underneath that, we have the engraving effects. Plus 5 grudge, plus 3 sharp blunt, plus 2 slowness. The first two in the yellow text are positive effects, and the bottom effect, the red effect, is a negative effect. When I equip this, you can see that I've gained plus 5 points into grudge, or level 1. You can see I have summon sharp blunt, but it's not at level 1 yet, and I have summon slowness, but it's not at level 1
What does slowness do?
In order to get the benefit of any of these effects, you need at least 5 points to get level 1, 10 points to reach level 2, and 15 points to reach level 3. And it's a cascading effect. Obviously, the more and deeper you go into the engraving effect, the stronger it gets. So it's important to note that by just having...
I can't. Let me move it. I don't know where to move it to. So it's like, I'll do like right like this. Okay? How about that? How's that? Does that better? There. That should be better. That good? So I'll go back like 10 seconds just so he can explain it.
Benefit of any of these effects, you need at least 5 points to get level 1, 10 points to reach level 2, and 15 points to reach level 3. And it's a cascading effect. Obviously, the more and deeper you go into the engraving effect, the stronger it gets. So it's important to note that by just having 2 points in slowness, again, if you look at it, 5, 3, and 2, by just having 2 points in slowness, I do not receive the negative effect. You have to
So you can just get all the different negative effects, but then not get it to level 1, and then you don't have any negative effects. Is that how it works? Oh, shit. That's actually really cool. I like that a lot. Damn.
Level 1.
We already
min-maxing, man. For 15 points. Hopefully you're following me here. So when you're looking at all of these things, you're probably wondering which one's most important. Early on, the most important thing that you care about is secondary stats. So you're going to prioritize secondary stats, then you're going to prioritize engravings, and then down the road you'll prioritize quality or polish.
So this is almost like PoE. Is like wait, now it's in the way again. It says engravings where my camera is.
Polish or whatever it's called, right? The grade, the number you see at the top. That's the last thing you will prioritize. But first, worry about your stats, then worry about engravings. But at certain points in the game, you'll worry about all of them all at once. Okay? But just keep that in mind. Also keep in mind that when you do make a set of accessories, if all of your accessories have the correct stats, but maybe one is off, but it will give you this engraving effect and it will help you out, that's fine as well. With that being understood, let's dive more into engravings. So as we mentioned earlier, you're going to acquire your gear set. It's pretty easy to do, and it's very deterministic. As you do dungeons and raids, you will then acquire these mats and craft your own set gear. However, when we look at our accessories, again, you will earn them through Chaos Dungeons, you will earn them through Guardian raids, but more than anything, you will earn them by buying them from other players.
Guys, I'd like to talk a little bit about what server I play on and what my character name is. I play on Galatar server. So again, I play on Galatar server. My character name is Asmon, and let me just, I type it out for you. Asmongod. It's Asmongold. Not Asmongold, Asmongold. So I just wanted to let you guys know that that is my name, and that's the server that I play on. I know it's been a question a lot of people have had, and I don't know what really made me think of it, but I thought I might as well just clarify.
Do that type of content, accessories will drop, and more than likely an accessory will drop that might be worth something to somebody else, but not for your class. You're gonna post your accessories on the auction house, and you're probably gonna end up buying accessories for you that are beneficial. So you're gonna sell the ones that you gather and then save your gold, and oftentimes
so it's like PoE, where like you get a good item but it's not good for you, and then the other guy gets a good item and it's not good for him, and then y'all trade it. Okay, that's cool.
For an accessory that's beneficial for you. However, early on in the game, you will not be using the market. You'll take what you can get. And how it will work is you'll create a build or find a build, and I'll talk more about how you can find a build later, and you're going to try to craft an engraving set, keeping in mind that you want the best stats possible. So with our accessories, the first thing that you'll do is actually look for engraving effects, not in your accessories, but through seal books. And these are books that you will acquire, and I'll make a video on this later, or maybe the video is already out by now. You will go around and do quests and earn seal books by playing the game. Okay, in seal books, what they actually do is they store in your engraving knowledge tome thing here, and all of your characters have access to this. Okay, so whenever you read a book, all of your
so this is account bound? All of your engravings are account bound. Well, why doesn't everybody do that? Why does it not every server bound? Yeah, why would not, like, let's say, like, why would like hypothetically, like, WoW not do that? Like, I'm just thinking of a random game. Yeah, why would they not do it? That's so weird to me. Lost Ark's Twitter's down. Let me refresh it. It's up for me. Yeah, it's up for me. It's just fine. The thing is, like, I think they took down their Twitter because they saw me talk about Cerberus, and they wanted to shut it down because, like, they were trying to get away with not having to give me an extra Cerberus. But I need them to do that. Lost Ark is, the thing is, like, the reason why Lost Ark, again, is delayed, it's my fault. It's my fault. I did this to you. And I want to let you know that I did this maliciously. This is not something that was just like an accident or a, secondary effect of myself streaming the game. I woke up early this morning thinking I want to ruin the average working Joe's Friday. Like, I want to make his one day that he took off for his 3-day weekend. You're not getting a 3-day weekend, Joe. You're getting a day and a half. And then your wife's going to be on your ass on Sunday, and you're not even going to be able to play the game. You're welcome. And then you have to go back to work.
Characters have access to this feature, meaning that it's set server or account wide. Yep. And we'll talk more about what that means in a second. This will show you all of the possible engraving effects that exist in the game. And on the second tab here, these are all of the possible engraving effects that exist for your class. So let's say we're going for a Madness build, and we want to build Madness Berserker because it's a very popular build.
Bro, that's so badass.
The first thing that you'll do early on in the game is you'll try to gather as many books as possible. And again, you'll earn them through doing quests. There are 4 different types of books that you can acquire. There are green engraving books, there are blue engraving books, there are purple engraving books, and then later on in tier 3 there are legendary engraving books. Now when you read a book, you need to read 20 to store it in that page that I showed you earlier. You need to read 20 green books, and what that will do is it will give you the engraving effect. Follow me along here. It will give you the engraving effect, and it will give you 3 points of it. I'll explain what that means in a second. If you read 20 of the blue books right here, you will get 6 points. If you then go on to read 20 of the purple books, books, you'll get 9 points, and if you read 20 of the legendary books, you will get 12 points. Essentially, think of this as like enchanting. You're reading this knowledge or this manual, and if you read 20 of each color,
no,
you go
that
3,
actually makes sense.
6,
It makes sense.
9, 12, giving you those
like it does make sense. Like people say it doesn't make sense, it does make sense. It does make sense. Yeah. Yeah, it's not a big deal. Like the thing is, like, you'll get it as soon as you do it, probably. Like Twitter's down. Yeah, basically Twitter is down as well. As a lot of you all know, my madness and malice knows no bounds. I did that too.
Points. And what that means is you have these 2 slots here, right? And this is the first way that you'll start to work on your engravings. The first thing you'll look for is these books, the seal knowledge, and you will seal or enchant yourself with these engravings. So if I wanted madness, again, I've read 20 of the green, then I read 20 of the blue, then I read 20 of the purple, and then I went to read 20 of the legendary. Okay, and that's going to give me those 12 points that we talked about. And now I can seal that and drag it here, and you can see that I gained 12 points of madness, right? And that gives me up to level 2. Remember, 5 points at level 1, 5 points at level 2, and
why don't he have level 3? Why do you not have level 3? Like, why don't you just get level 3? Yeah, why don't you just get level 3? Oh, he's not done with it? Well, just finish it. Like, what's the problem? You just do it.
But I need to fill it all out to get this to glow and to get the benefit.
Yeah,
so that means I need an accessory that gives me +3 madness, right? If I put these earrings on, I now get level 3 madness. Easy enough, right? By the way, this is the most confusing system in Lost Ark, so don't feel, oh my gosh, I don't understand it yet. It'll make more sense to you when you're actively playing the game. But if you're just watching this video and you're following along so far, you're doing good. Also, the earrings that I did just equip earlier also had 5 grudge on them, so now I've earned the grudge effect as well. And remember, I haven't earned any of the negative effects. But you can seal 2 of them. So early on in the game, you're not going to have these legendary books. You're probably going to have at best blue books. Maybe you've read some green books.
I've got
what you'll do is you can double seal, right? So I can take this, maybe I've read 20 of the green and 20 of the blue, giving me those 6 points. I can actually double seal, drag them in this slot, and now I have 12 points, right? 6 and 6 giving me that 12, and all I would need to do is get those last 3. So that's how it's going to work. You're going to get your books first and seal, and then what you'll look for is a thing called an engraving stone, right? So we took care of the books, and then now we need an engraving stone.
That's
and an engraving stone is something that you'll learn about by doing a quest in the game. As you do your progression at end game, you'll get these stones from doing a quest, and it will ask you to cut a stone. And welcome to RNG City with this system.
Yeah.
It's really fun to do, but it's also really tilting. So you'll get to this little screen right here, and essentially,
so this is like gambling, right? Like, yo, guys, I actually don't think it's that complicated. I know y'all are like, oh, what the fuck? No, it's probably not that complicated. Like, it's just you're getting all of it at the same time. It's really probably not. Like, these games, again, you know what my dad told me whenever I was learning to drive? I told my dad, I'm like, Dad, I'm never going to learn how to drive. It's too hard. My dad says, what the fuck are you talking about? I said, it's too hard. I'm not smart enough. He says, look around. Look at all the morons. Look at all the absolute dumbasses driving around in cars. You still think you can't do it? Look at him. Look at him. Look at that idiot. He has a driver's license. Why can't you get one? I'm like, okay. All right, that's fine. And think about it like that. There's a lot of people that are dumb as fuck. They are absolutely dumb as fuck, and they have no idea what they're doing. And because of that, and even them, they have better engravings than you do. That you can figure this out. I guarantee you can figure it out. And do you want to know how I figure out the right thing to do? By doing the wrong thing. That's what I do. I am a person who learns by error. Like, I will do it wrong over and over and over, and then I will eventually do it right. That's normal. Yeah, the problem is that I used to do that in school, and my dad really didn't like that. That was the one thing he was not a fan of, is my, A/B testing. or it's usually C because, you know, I just pick C. I read somewhere like C is the most often answer, so it's C. Yeah, it was not good. Fall forward. Well, my dad, I explained to my dad that I actually never tried to. I'm just a complete tangent. I'm just gonna talk about this and we'll get back to the video. I talked to my dad. I told him one time that I never tried to get a 100 in a class. I would get the progress report and it would have like the accounting for each grade and the weighting for each grade. And I would mathematically calculate the easiest assignments for me to do for me to mathematically get a 75 in the class. And then I would also get like a 90 sometimes if it was a really easy 6 weeks. And then if I got a 90, they couldn't give you less than a 50. So a 90 and a 50 averaged together are 70 and you still pass. So I could effectively do a 6 weeks of work and get a 90, and then I don't even really have to go to school next time. So I min-maxed my grades, and I had a 2.4 in high school. I earned that 2.4 right on the dot. I explained that to my dad about a year ago. I graduated 10 years ago. He still got mad. It still made him mad. Even like, so imagine what it was like back then. He was not happy at all. 2.4 out of 100? Yeah, exactly. And bullshit, you can't guarantee 100%? Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. You just get it right. And that's why I said 75, right? Because, like, what if I do make a mistake? Well, then, you know, I got this to 73. But if I do well, and I get like this one time I got a 94, I was upset. I wasted 4 points. Why the fuck I need those 4 points for? I wasted my own damn time. Did you get grounded? No, my dad just get pissed off at me. The thing is, like, my dad, I think he always trusted that I'd be able to figure something out. Because, like, even whenever I was a kid, I was, like, always wheeling and dealing. Like, I used to sell floating rocks whenever I was in, like, kindergarten and first grade. And then after that, I would sell fireworks at the school. I sold fireworks at school a lot. Because, like, first time I went and my dad took me to get fireworks at school. Not fireworks at school, but he got fireworks at the fireworks stand. I didn't have enough money saved up, and I only bought like 2 boxes of Black Cats and like M1000s and like, you know, big old fireworks and smoke bombs and shit. And then I told my dad, I'm like, well, let's come back in 2 weeks and I'll get even more money. And my dad says, well, they closed. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? He says, yeah, they're open only 2 times a year. And I was like, wait, what the fuck is this, right? Like, it actually was almost like the corruption vendor in BFA. You know how it's on like a rotation and you only have like Twilight Devastation. It's only up like maybe every 3 weeks, right? So it's like a video game rotation. And so I would, it's a FOMO mechanic. It is. And so what did I do? I saved all my lunch money every single week. I would save my lunch money and I would spend like $150 on fireworks at the fireworks stand. And my dad would buy it all for me and he let me buy it. And I would take the fireworks to school and I would sell them to kids at school because you could sell them for way more money because like kids want to buy fireworks, but they can't do it. But then I sell fireworks to them and I make so much fucking money. And then after that, I was selling different programs on a calculator that you could download that you could use to plug in different formulas that people could use to pass in algebra. And I had these, and I had 2 calculators because you had to clear one calculator. I never cleared the other one, so I swapped that bitch around. And then I would fucking take people's lunch money for that, and I would get the money. It was a TI 83 or 84 plus. And so that's the thing. Like I was, like, and then also I would sell like burned CDs and shit like that too. Like I would sell anything that I could. And like my dad probably was he saw me do that and he was just like, okay, this, you know, it'll be all right. Yeah, he'll be fine. Like that, like basically anything that I could do to get money, I would do. Like I remember whenever George Bush decided that there wasn't going to be any more soda in school. I said, thank you, George. I appreciate that. I'm going to bring it from my house and sell it for twice as much. Thanks a lot, George. Yeah, that sounds good to me. That was my life. And then I would fail class. I would almost fail class every time, man. He would be pissed.
What you're trying to do and what you have to do is you have to make your way across all of these. And it's no different than an accessory, right? These have no stats on them, by the way. You'll loot a stone from doing a chaos dungeon or a guardian raid, and it will show you guillotine, barricade, peacefulness. This is a stone that has those engraving effects on it. And you have 75% here to, if I tap it here, I failed. This is where the RNG starts. I have another 75% chance to get an effect here. Boom, I hit one. Again, 65%. Every time you succeed, you go down 10%. Every time you fail, you gain 10%, with the max being 75. Okay, it's okay if you're confused here, just watch the screen. So now I've got 55%, I hit. Now I get 45%, I'm gonna go down here because I actually want to fail this. I don't want to succeed in this row, and I want to succeed.
Come on, give me a 2000 X.
Right? I don't want negative effects. So 55, I'll go here for funsies. I passed. 45, I failed. Then I'll go here. 65, I'll bring it here just for science. 75, I'll do it here. This is bad stone already, right? But we'll just do this for science. So I'll fill these out now. So I've got 5, 6, and 4. And if I add that stone, if I equip it, right, 5, it's very simple. Plus 5 guillotine, plus 6 barricade, plus 4 peacefulness. If I equip the stone and it's right there, I get those effects and I don't get the negative effect, right?
Yeah.
So when you combine your stone that you will acquire, it goes in this bottom slot, your seals here.
So you have it put together. Oh my God. That's so close. That's such a good one. Yeah, wow. And it's like, no, I've watched Train before, right? And like the thing is that like I know slots don't work like this, but he always wins in that. He always would win in that Anubis game. Like he would. And like I know it doesn't work like that, but like why would he win every time whenever he plays Anubis? I wonder why. Yeah, I don't understand at all. He won 8 million last night. Yeah, it only cost 9 million. I don't know. Yeah, as I said, guys, I watch Train all the time. He's one of my oldest friends on Twitch.
All of these accessories, right? That's how you will get a build like this. By combining the stone, getting a really good stone is important, but early on, you'll take what you can get, getting some nice accessories, and so on. That's the gearing in Lost Ark in a nutshell. There's also things like gems and tripods, but you won't experience those until tier 2 and tier 3 content, which will take you a couple of weeks. And I don't recommend learning about it now. It's going to overwhelm you. But if you can understand this, the left side being your actual equipment, and the quality thing that you see here is the exact same as I mentioned earlier. You quality in the equipment and you upgrade that, and that determines your item level, and then your accessories that you will get through various aspects of the game. And that's responsible for your critical strike, your agility, and all your secondary stats and your engravings. If you are overwhelmed by any of this, do not panic, do not worry. It didn't make sense to me until I actually played the game. And like a lot of things in life, watching a video on it prior before you actually see it in person,
that's a really cool effect. Bro, that reminds me of like, what's that fucking bullshit that they do in Smash Brothers, where like you get all 3 pieces of the thing, and then you can make the little thing, you go pew, go right on them. Yeah, that's what it is. Twitter's down. I did that. Yep.
Feel overwhelming or confusing, but just know that it will make a lot more sense when you're actually playing the game, like all things in life. But if you can understand the gist of what I'm saying, it will help you a lot when you're jumping into the game, and it won't be as foreign to you. Now, if you're wondering where should I learn about builds and how do I know what stats do I want for my class and how do I know what engravings I want, there's a fantastic website, maxroll.gg, that just picked up Lost Ark.
Was that mechanic the same mechanic that they have on Alexander 3 Savage? Where everybody gets the line, then they have to move out of it, and then move out of the place that they were at, and then move out of the original spot? Yes. Yeah, I thought so. See, this is like, I cannot wait, bro. Like, I cannot wait until I get to the max level dungeons and raids. Like, I love that shit, man. And figuring it out. No, but it's kind of the same thing. Yeah, why is Twitter being down a big deal for you guys? That's a good question. So Twitter being down is a big deal for them because usually they're tweeting about me, about how there was one person who made a tweet. This is a comment that he made yesterday. I pulled it up. I wanted to show it to the stream real quick. So you're quitting Final Fantasy 14 now. Way to jump on the bandwagon after we welcomed you with Oakman arms. Kinda lame if you ask me, but you do you, brah. Damn, bruh. Damn, bruh. I just thought it was funny. I was going to comment back at him. I'd be like, yeah, man, I'm not going to play it again until they pay me again. He'll be like, wait, what? You got paid?
And it has a lot of reliable information on there. I will have it linked below. But for example, you can go to their build guides and look for a Madness or Mayhem Berserker raid guide. And it will tell you your build, your ability layout. It will give you how to choose your actual ability tripods. Don't worry about that yet. And it will also give you engravings that we just touched on, which ones you want to go for. And it will also give you a stat breakdown as well. It gives you all of the information here. Very easy to digest. And I highly recommend the website for those of you that are looking for information on your class. And no, I am not affiliated with the website. It's just one that I think is pretty useful for new players. And that's it, you guys. Hopefully that video was easy to understand or somewhat digestible. I'll have all the links for all the stuff that I mentioned listed down below in the description. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, you can check out my live stream somewhere here on the screen, and I'd be more than willing to answer them. Thank you all so much, and I will see you all
watch the
in the next
engravings video. He should have it. Oh shit, he might not have it updated yet. Yeah, let me go ahead. I'll find a video for engravings, okay? And that way we can look through the rest of it. I think I watched this one already. Give me just 1 second. Yeah, there you guys go. There's this video. Stoops is a great content creator. And do y'all remember whenever we were talking, like he made that video like literally 3 days ago, and he was talking about how he was gonna hopefully hit you know, fucking 100,000 subs, and he had 89K. And now he almost has 93K subs. Like, that's literally how fast it is. That's nuts, man. Holy shit. That is really fucking fast. God damn. Look up Legacy Gaming. I'll watch this one right here. Yeah, sure. Give me 1 second. And I'll see if I can find that video real quick.